Hi guys, and welcome to another episode of the Boxing Coalition. My name is Cam. Joining me tonight, Ari, MV Chu, Kevin Horn, and I'm sure Leon will be on in a while. Hope you guys are all well. We'll start in Alabama. Mr. Deontay Wilder defending his WBC Heavyweight title against Johann Duhaupas. If pronouncing that properly, I'm not sure, to be honest. The NBC crew, each of them had their own pronunciation, so I don't think you could really shit on me if I get it wrong. Chu.
It's the last time we're ever going to see him anyway, so who cares?
No. We'll get into that later, but me and Ari were discussing earlier. I'm sure he's going to be a opponent for Mr. Joshua sometime next year.
On pay-per-view?
On pay-per-view, but... Kev, I'll start with you. Did you see the fight? What did you think?
Well, you know me, casual KH. I didn't watch it live, but I saw all the Twitter talk today, and I work from home on Mondays, so I watched it this morning just to see, because there was a lot of talk. It seemed like if you didn't like it, you were a hater, and everybody else who is a Heyman cheerleader loved it and thought he was impressive. But I don't know. I thought he looked pretty bad. He had a guy walking forward in a high guard right after him. And I think you got to kind of question dude's power a little bit, because I know this guy never been knocked out, but he never fought anybody good, so I don't know how impressive that is. But he was kind of walking through his punches a bit. And for a while, even though he got beat up and got marked up, he still made it 11 rounds without ever really getting staggered or hurt. So, and just Wilder's feet are all over the place. He's doing that freaking Ric Flair walk and shit, man. He's just sliding all over. Look, I'm ready for him to fall face forward and shit. He's doing that side to side. He's jumping all over the place. But, I mean, he should have done this, right? He should have done this to this guy?
Yeah, I'm kind of mixed about this, because I've heard opinions from a few people. Shout to SW on Twitter. Twitter handle is SW_boxing voice. And a few other people have mentioned it to me. I didn't watch it live like you, Kev. No UK channel picked up the rights to it, so I thought I'm not staying up till 4 o'clock to watch a stream. You know, there's a few people that upload them to YouTube the next day. I thought I can just catch the card. Ended up watching it today because I was busy yesterday, but going back to what S-Dub said, he thought Duhaupas was taking a lot of punishment, and maybe a British ref, if that was over in the UK, then maybe that would have got stopped a bit earlier. I don't really think he was taking that much punishment. I think a lot of the punches were getting blocked. They were getting rolled. He was slipping. He was coming underneath. Like Wilder's hooks were really wild. He'll throw a left hook, right hook, and Duhaupas was just going underneath both of them. The Frenchman, though, if his accuracy was a little better, I think he could have done maybe what Molina did against Wilder, maybe stunned him and that, but his fucking accuracy was terrible. And with Wilder, you got such a big target, you got such a big body. Go to the body, like he was only going for the head, and that really disappointed me. But my biggest situation is these unknown opponents. And they're almost a double-edged sword, because obviously if an unknown opponent gets knocked out, you're going to say, he's a fucking bum. And then if the unknown opponent does good like Duhaupas did, then people will question Wilder, saying, Wilder's a bum. And it's a difficult situation, because I remember a few months ago we had that card in Japan. Sorry, I think it was in China. Ikyang versus the Argentine guy, Kaneko. And you know, we looked at this Argentine's record, and he was like 47-0, I think. 2 knockouts, never fought outside Argentina. And you just get the impression like, this guy's fought no one. He's just had an easy career. And the guy was awesome, and he's like, he became one of my favorite fighters of the year. And this is that type of situation. This unknown guy again. I was impressed with Duhaupas. You know, he kind of walked Wilder down with the high guard. And he was trying. He didn't just come there to get knocked over. And he was a tough dude. He was blocking a lot of shots. Props to Wilder though, because after the first round, I did notice the way he had his high guard. The left side of his body was exposed. And I don't know if it was Mark Breland who said to him, go with the right hook to the body. But in the second round, he hit him with like 2-3 big right hooks to the body, and that really impressed me. But he didn't continue it during the fight. I maybe think if he would have done that, maybe he would have stopped the guy a bit earlier, because he had a hell of a chin on him. But sorry, I've ranted for a while now. Chu, did you see the fight? What's your thoughts?
Yeah, I saw the fight. Better than I thought it was going to be. The French guy put up a bit of a fight. A couple of months ago, I said that French boxers, they're pretty shit. But ever since then, they might be bad technically, but they show a lot of heart. I mean, I'll be honest, I didn't know much about this guy. I don't really know about French boxing. You know, it's not on my list of priorities. I don't wake up in the morning and Google French boxing. But when I do see a French boxer, I'm expecting some kind of, don't know, heart deficiencies. Like every French boxer I've seen recently has got a lot of heart. Like that Rebrassi, you know, he might be shit, but he's got a lot of heart. This guy, he's not shit by any means, however you pronounce his name, but he's got a lot of heart as well. You know, his grittiness and his toughness kept him in the fight. I must say that I think Wilder's power is. I've talked about it before, like he's got good power, but maybe it's just a mirage. You know, that first round knockout they had against that guy in Puerto Rico. You know, the dodgy one. What's the guy's name?
Malik Scott.
Malik Scott, yeah. That's looking dodgier by the second.
You said that at the time. There was a wink as well.
Definitely, there was a wink. You know, Wilder is this thing of leaning back on the ropes and exploding with a left hook. It's a new thing. The commentary team said that it's like a move a welterweight would do. But, you know, welterweights could get away with that. He's like a big guy. He doesn't need to do that. You'll never see Lennox Lewis doing that. You know, Lennox Lewis would keep you at the end of his jab, just keep distance. Why would you want to get in the pocket? You know, you're not Riddick Bowe. You don't have the kind of inside game like that, even though I was impressed with his uppercuts in particular. But if you're just going to get in there in the pocket with a guy, you know, you're going to get touched up. You're going to get a fucking puffy eye. So either he has no respect for the guy's power, or he's a bit naive. He's still learning on the job, and I just think if he was to fight Povetkin next, yeah, he would get lit up like a Mayweather doobie. It really would be one-sided. Ari, what do you think, mate?
Ari just stepped away, so...
What, for the Povetkin fight? No, I'm here, Cam.
Okay.
I don't want to comment too much on this fight the other day because I didn't watch it live and I skipped through. I couldn't really be bothered to sit through because it was like a body bag in there, really, you know, while I was having fun. From what I saw, you know, the guy showed up tremendous heart, so of course respect to him for that. But, you know, I wish he had a full camp and I wish there was someone better in there because, you know, this guy, no one's ever heard of him before that, unless maybe Milos has because he knows about Tepa and maybe he saw the fight with Tepa. I haven't seen that fight, so I don't know how he looked in that fight either. But, you know, for Wilder in the future, obviously they're saying Povetkin's next no matter what. WBC have put their foot down finally, so I don't know. That will be the fight really to see if Wilder's the real deal, the real deal, you know. We're going to see his chin will be tested again. We'll see him against a legit top 5 top 5 heavyweight. So that'll be the fight. But at the moment, I'm not sure. I need to watch Povetkin tackle him again. I want to see some of Povetkin's recent fights again before I decide. Because in my opinion, Wilder does look like he's improving a bit. You know, he's not as wild as he used to be. You can see he's learning off that jab a bit more. From what I saw, you know, he does look like he is improving. So maybe, even though he's getting fed, but maybe he's still learning in there. Even though he's not taking them out like we thought he should be. He should be getting these guys out of there. We thought the power, or we were led to believe the power was crazy. But again, who is he really knocking out? So of course he's a power puncher, but maybe he's not that he's not got that crazy power that people thought he had. You know, like that time where the guy had like a seizure in the ring.
and stuff like that. Maybe that was just about the level he was fighting. And of course, the Malik Scott knockout, I've always said it was dodgy. I don't need to see it. I can see how many times I need to see it. That's a dodgy knockout. Malik Scott was messing around before the fight. They were friends. He must probably had money on himself to go down the first. Seriously. So, but Povetkin next. That's all I care about. Povetkin next. I don't really want to talk about this too much. Just Povetkin next. Let's see if Wilder's legit.
It's funny you mentioned Povetkin next, though, because I was looking at Povetkin's box rec, and he's got a fight lined up against Mariusz Wach in November, which I find a bit strange. That's going to definitely push the Wilder fight to maybe March, April next year. I just hope that Wilder doesn't request another voluntary, because I don't think he deserves another voluntary.
Yeah.
To be honest, Wilder is quite frustrating because he's good in spells. Like, for 30 seconds he'll look immense, and then for the minute afterwards he'll just be shit, just going backwards in straight lines and having no kind of guard, getting pushed back with a guy with limited knockouts. And these last two guys that he's fought, they don't have a punch to trouble him. And that's really what I would like to see next. Stavern could punch. But Stavern wasn't in any kind of shape in that fight. I just think a heavyweight who comes in shape, he might beat Wilder. I think there's a lot of potential there, but if they keep feeding him guys like this, when he does step up, he'll get exposed. It's like we always say, if you eat bums, you will become one.
Yep, exactly. But I just want to take a minute to shit on the NBC broadcast team. Like, Sugar Ray Leonard, boxing legend, can't say anything bad about him. But as a commentator and a caller, like, he's just too much biased towards the house fighter, and he's mentioning things that are not really happening. Like, for example, I think at the end of the third round, Wilder let off with a combination of maybe 5-6 punches, and I think all but one were either blocked, rolled, or slipped. And him and the BJ Flores and Marv Albert were like, oh, great shot, he's stunned, he's really hurt him, and it's like, no, he's not. What are you guys talking about? And I know you have issues of the angle where they've sat and what they can see. I understand that, but you think with Sugar Ray being such a legendary boxer, you'd think he'd be able to notice the smaller little things, but obviously not. And BJ Flores, I've shitted on him in the past as well. That Chudinov fight was terrible. His dad's in the corner saying you need to cut off the ring, and he asks his dad how. And if you don't know how to cut the ring off, then I don't want you to be an analyst on NBC, to be honest, because that's just basics. And Marv Albert made me laugh as well when he said Klitschko, which was quite funny, referring to Vladimir Klitschko. Chu, you got anything else, or should we move on?
Yeah, does anyone know why BJ Flores is there? Why is he there?
I don't know.
Why is he there? It was just everything he said. He kept looking for Sugar Ray Leonard to kind of give his approval.
Was he commentating? He wasn't doing that ring thing they do where they have someone next to the...
I think it was BJ Flores. I think that was the third voice.
Yeah, it was Flores.
Actually the third voice. NBC Bernstein or something, they have to get the quality up.
That's what Flores. They're lacking NBC in that. Obviously, the other shows, the Spike, they've got Joe Tessera and Teddy Atlas, and a few others. We've got like Timothy Bradley on the top ranked ones, and I think they've got Virgil and Paulie on some of the other PBC ones. But NBC needs to step up, man, because their commentary team is terrible.
Those are known, respected boxers. Like, who the fuck's BJ Flores?
Exactly.
I'm just waiting for the beautiful jab. Oh, look at Deontay Wilder just throwing that beautiful jab.
That is, of course, Black Ski Mask Joe, the guy that always rings in but never waits for him to be introduced. What's happening, Joe?
What's going on, guys?
Yeah, did you see the fight, Joe? What did you think?
You know what, man? I was just trying to watch this shit just now on my iPad, and I couldn't take it, man. I just turned that shit the fuck off, dude. So no, I didn't watch the fight actually.
So what are you calling up for then?
Just wanted to call and just shit on boxing for a little bit, you know what I mean?
No, but then Rob Palmer might call you a casual fan again.
Yeah, fuck it. Nah, man, what's going on with boxing, man? It's like none of these fights, they sound good, but like I already know who's the fuck's gonna win, man. It's like I don't want to watch this shit, so I'm actually like I've been saying this whole fucking time. I'm waiting for the Canelo Cotto, Triple G Lemieux, Chocolatito versus Valoria, and then fucking Vladimir Bitchko just fucking clocked out, man. Because that was going to be a good-ass fight versus Tyson Fury. But that's some bullshit that he, like, clocked out.
Yeah, we're going to get into that later, but Joe, your feelings reflect a lot on what people are feeling. Like, obviously, Ari said to me about this, he's not into boxing as much recently just because of the fights. I know Hamada said the same thing, It's like, I'm in a way maybe similar too, because before I would stay up to watch this, but, I think, fuck it, I'll just, I'll sleep, I'll watch it in the morning. Like you said, Joe, like you know who the winner is going to be, before the fight, so that the spark value of the fight's gone. It doesn't have that same entertainment value.
Hell no, man. And that's the thing that's sad, bro, because I mean, I would get excited for an Austin Trout. I would get excited for who else was a good fight, man. That's how bad I don't even know what's going on, man. All this bullshit. Boxing on Tuesdays, Thursdays, Fridays, Saturdays. It's like too much boxing. Some of them is high name boxing, like names that you want. But it's like, who the fuck cares, man? It's like, I don't care about this shit anymore. Now, I want to see somebody that's like for sure 50-50. You don't know who the fuck the winner's going to be, or like a good match. People actually putting up their belts and people not like cherry picking, man, because it's just sad, man. This whole PBC shit. And I'm not even trying to hate on it because, like, I guess people are watching, the like more casuals are like watching, like people that don't really know about boxing. But for me, that I was watching boxing for a while now, and I'm like, this shit isn't sexy anymore, man.
The sexiness value has gone.
Yeah, man, that shit is gone, bro.
No, but I agree about the quantity. The biggest issue for me with PBC also is there's too much quantity and not enough quality.
Yeah, man. And then I thought honestly, I was gonna be happy about because I guess HBO kind of went dark and like for this whole month, right, of September, like July leading up to the end of September. And then Showtime as well. They're leading up like quietly, and then all of a sudden it's like we get all this boxing, but it's like honestly I don't care about it. So it's kind of sad. And then I don't even remember when the fuck was the last time I called in, but I heard now that like Broner is gonna be fighting again, and it's like against a dude that lost and he lost, and then they're fighting for a belt. I'm like, what the fuck is this, man?
It's true. I was thinking the same thing, Joe.
I'm like, I've been MIA from boxing, and then I'm hearing all this bullshit. Like, the fuck? He's fighting for a belt. I don't know why the fuck he's fighting for a belt. Man, I think he moved back down in weight, right?
I think this is
at welterweight.
Oh, what a fucking shame, man.
I think.
Oh,
you never
no.
know. You never know what kind of weight Bronner's going to come in at.
He's going to come in at 148.
Yeah, Joe, I agree with everything you said. It's dark times for boxing. I mean, the PB show at the weekend done 1.6 or something. It was the same as UFC's lowest ever rating on Fox, I believe.
Yo, is KH on, man? Did he ever get the numbers for the Mayweather Berto? I think that's one of the main reasons why I'm like turned off from boxing right now. Cause like I didn't watch the Mayweather Berto. I didn't watch the recap of that shit. It's like I don't care anymore, man. It's like you guys are just fucking bullshitting me now, man. All these motherfuckers getting paid money, which is good compared to like what the fuck these UFC fuckers are getting paid, but it's like, come on, man, give me something to make me want to go watch you live. Like Lucas Matisse versus Victor Postal is right around the corner, and then it's here in California. But I'm like, do I really want to go watch this shit? Like, like I don't care anymore, man. It's like, what the fuck's going on here?
Yep. Chew. Braun is fine at 140. I just checked it.
140.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it won't be. He won't make it at 140.
They're fighting for Vargas' old belt. It's a bit ridiculous when you got two guys coming off losses fighting for a world title.
You sure?
But I thought
Vargas got WBO, right?
Jesse Vargas or what?
No, I think they made Benavidez the super, and I think this is his old belt, I think.
Or was it Garcia's old belt?
Yeah, something like that. I get lost with all these regulars and fucking supers, man.
I thought Vargas had WBA.
No, he had I think, WBO.
No, he had WBA. You're wrong, man. He had WBA.
Oh, man. You know what? What's
WBA.
going on with Timothy Bradley splitting with Joel Diaz? I heard that shit too. I found that shit out this week.
Joe, you're the worst of keeping it fucking on track, you know what I mean? You just take us in different directions, Joe.
I'm telling you, man, it's like I've been busy with work. Like, I don't care about boxing, man. Like, this whole fucking... And god damn, man, Timothy Bradley, dude, you let your wife punk your fucking business, dog. That's some bullshit. I was trying to find out more about this shit, and then I was like listening to all fucking podcast interviews, and then now Joel Diaz is like, it's Monica Bradley's fault. All this shit. But you know what, man? Fuck it. He wants to go train with Teddy Atlas and teach him nothing? Fuck it. Fine by me.
All right. My boy Leon has jumped on the line. Leon, are you there?
Yeah, alright, how you doing?
Good, thank you. How are you?
Yeah, not so bad, not so bad.
Wilder Duhaupas, your thoughts, if I pronounce that properly?
Dupois, or whatever. Let's be honest, that power, we have to question the power now. A bit, don't we? I mean, he shouldn't be taking 11 rounds to get rid of that guy, and everyone's trying to say he had a great chin, or does he not punch as big as everyone says he does? That's the biggest question, I think, because he didn't look great, did he? Again, and he ran a bit. That guy walked him down in stages in that fight, and he touched him as well.
Were you having a good laugh when he was touching him up and walking him down?
Well, I just love the idea. I never thought I'd ever see an American heavyweight run from a French heavyweight. So yeah, I did enjoy that. Yeah, but I mean, what do you think? Let's be honest. What would AJ? I know I said last week you don't want to hype him up too much, but he would have got rid of this guy. Don't you agree?
I don't know. Like, this guy was tough, man. His high guard was decent. He was open to the body, but I don't know. I think AJ would probably get rid of him just because of maybe a British stoppage. Like, if a British ref seen that guy taking the combinations, even if he was deflecting most of the punches, fucking Ian John Lewis would probably jump in.
But if he stood in front of him from the round one, he shouldn't have lasted more than 5 rounds.
I don't know.
I just wasn't impressed.
No, I understand that you weren't impressed. I just think that maybe you're overrating Wilder a bit and underrating Duhaupas.
Yeah. Possibly. But, this guy is not world level. He's a European level fighter.
Who, Wilder or the French guy?
The French guy. But, and everyone laughs at European level fighters, and then he takes him 11 rounds, and the stoppage, he could have carried on. He could have carried on. Shit stoppage.
No, I disagree, actually. I think the French guy had no chance of winning, so fuck it.
No, he had no chance of winning, but, Neither did, we'll get to it later, but neither did the big man from Enfield, but they let him go the whole round, the whole 12.
Yeah, we'll get to that, but I've got some things to say about that, but we'll get to that later.
But I just don't understand how he didn't get rid of him. It's just, you can't be impressed with his last two performances as a package. Those, how 19 rounds he's done. There's nothing to worry any of the top guys.
Yeah.
What would Vlad do to him? Vlad would chew him up. Let's be honest. And then he's saying, "Oh, the longer I leave it,
Vlad's getting older."
Vlad, yeah. The geezer's he's 40-year-old.
The thing is, that's just like giving a duck on it. Yeah. I'm just gonna get like old so I can beat him when he's old.
Like he's not old. Like the geezer's 40. Fight him. If you're so confident, fight him and take his belts. But anyway, Povetkin's promoter will get that belt anyway. He'll go big.
He'll just drop it and say, "Oh, I'm injured or something and I can't fucking defend it," or they'll make some bullshit up.
Yeah.
Anything else, Leo?
No, that's it on that.
All right. Shall we move on, guys? I'll take that as a yes. Leon, going back to you, actually, I think you and me, maybe Kev, the only people that saw the Cassie Brazil fight. Did you see it?
I fell asleep. I haven't been able to find it. It took long enough to find the whole Wilder fight again.
Yeah, it got removed, didn't it? It got removed from YouTube.
Removed enough. Yeah. I was watching 3 or 4 different ones. I'm sure one got removed as I was watching it.
They're on to you, Leon.
They're on to me, yeah.
All right.
I don't even know who these guys are.
Fred Cassie, you've seen it before. He got knocked
Fred
out.
Cassie seems like a fucking dancer.
He got knocked out cold by Amir Mansour. It was like the knockout of a year.
Amir Mansour nearly killed him.
You're saying that to me like it's fucking popular news. No,
I'm sure if you saw the knockout, you'll remember. It happened last year.
It was a great knockout.
Was it?
It was knockout. It was one of the punches of the year, wasn't it?
Yeah.
The ref gave him the Izzy dead kick.
He just kicked him when he was down.
He stopped moving. Everything stopped moving at once, like he'd been shot. He collapsed, like, you know those things you used to get when you were a kid and you press the bottom of it and the animal would collapse? You know, remember those toys?
The string toys, yeah.
Yeah, those string toys. It was like that in punch form.
So that's why he got a gig on PBC, because he's already been taken out on a stretcher.
So what happened? He lost to Mansour. Then the fight after that, he fought Chris Arreola, and a lot of people thought he won it, but
he did win it.
It ended in a draw. So obviously they brought him back, and I thought he won this fight as well. It was a close fight. I don't think it was a convincing victory, but I'll give my 2 cents. Dominic Brazil didn't impress me at all. He's big, he's got the range, but he doesn't use it. The straight punches, the right hand is looped, so it's not like a true straight punch, and he relies too much on it. You'll see him just stand in front of the guy, right hand, right hand, right hand. He won't think about throwing a left hook, right hand, left hook, or he's just too right hand happy. His jab was poor. Like, you'd think with his range he'll kind of shoot it out a bit more, keep Cassie at arm's length, but he wasn't. Cassie was doing a great job of switching. He's a switcher, and I think that was one of the reasons that Brazil struggled, just because, 1 minute you're getting a straight right down the pipe, next minute you're getting a straight left down the pipe. If you ever face a switch hitter, I've sparred a bit, it is difficult facing a switch hitter, just because you don't know which direction the punches are coming from sometimes. Fred Cassie, I said it on, I think, the last time he fought against Arreola, maybe he should cut some weight, go down to cruiserweight. I think his second fight was at cruiserweight.
Ooh.
But no, he's not fat, he's just really muscular too. And I think because of his height, he's not that tall. I think he would be better suited to cruiserweight.
Fred Cassie, I've seen that before. Yeah, I couldn't remember. Yeah, the Cassie knockout against Mansour.
Yep. So just to round up, I thought that Brazil was very lucky, especially with some of the cards. I think one judge gave him every round, which I think was disgusting. But I think that's just boxing sometimes. It's probably one of the worst judging performances I've seen on PBC so far, I think. I don't know why they're protecting Brazil as well, because I think as soon as he steps up against a decent guy, I think he'll get exposed. So, yep, we'll move on. What should we talk about next? Should we talk about the Marquez Estrada fight, or should we go to the UK, talk about Buglioni and Chudinov? Don't all speak at once.
Can I say something real quick?
Go ahead, Joe.
Yo, so this fight happened with Wilder, right? What happened? I thought that he was supposedly going to fight Povetkin next, right?
Yeah, Povetkin's a mandatory now, so he has to fight him next.
Oh, okay.
Let's talk about the Marquez Estrada fight.
Did you see it, Lim?
I swear I did.
What did you think?
It was a great fight. It was competitive early. Tyson Marquez was giving Estrada some problems because Tyson Marquez, he's always been a power puncher. He's gotten his nickname for a reason. He's not Tyson-esque in terms of skill level, but he does pop a lot of power for that weight class. And he was clipping Estrada a couple of times, but Estrada's class ultimately prevailed. I think Estrada dropped Marquez, 7 times in that fight. And yeah, Estrada is clearly, I think, one of the 2 top guys in that weight class, or hovering in that weight class with Chocolatito, obviously. And I think Estrada is actually my favorite in that division, just because of his age and his youth. I feel like he still has maybe not a lot more left in the tank, but still more left in the tank than Chocolatito. I'm not saying he should be favored by any means. I just feel like, I don't know, for some reason, since that's a fight that everyone wants to see, I think I would go with Estrada in that Chocolatito fight, just from gut instinct. But yeah, the fight itself was really fun to watch. It wasn't just rock'em sock'em, because Estrada just has a lot of fucking skill. And I know me and Chu, probably more Chu, likes to shit on the little fighters a lot, but Estrada is one of those guys who just kind of pops out of the screen because he's just so talented.
Yeah, I agree with everything you said. I actually watched the fight, Dan. It's new territory for me, a flyweight match. But I was impressed by the skill. It was cute. That's a wee cute match. What the fuck's happening?
Dan, you're getting a lot of noise from your mic, Dan.
I'm sorry, I think I just licked my mic on accident. I'm not even kidding. I don't know why. I thought something was on it.
You're getting yourself ready for my voice. I know ya. It's cool, mate. I'm about to go. Marquez was on the canvas more than Picasso's paintbrush, mate. He was getting bounced on the floor like a size 1 football.
I don't know. I thought Picasso was known for his generous amount of strokes that he used, but nonetheless, that's a fair analogy.
The fucking Estrada's left hook to the body. I think Kimo said in a private conversation that it's kind of Barrera-esque. It's nice, or was it Niota? One of the two. He's got a really nice left hook to the body. I'm impressed by the guy. I mean, Marquez's ribcage, the right side of his ribcage, kind of looked like the Blood Moon by the end of it. He was getting hit to the right side of his ribcage a lot. And it was a good fight. I mean, I didn't really see the competitive in it. I thought, from what I seen, I thought Marquez was just getting a beating.
Yeah.
Not in those early rounds. I thought he won a couple of the early rounds. 2 of the first 4, I'd say I gave him.
Yeah, I was really impressed with what you said about the body work, and even when he dropped into the body, he jumped back right on him and went to the body.
But he wasn't. Yeah. I don't think he used his jab enough in that first 4 or 5 rounds.
Who was Estrada?
Yeah, he was throwing the right quite a lot, but
yeah, he was trying to counter with the left hook as well.
Yeah, but I don't see Chocolatito not just beating him again. He's beaten him once. Why doesn't he beat him again? If that fight happens,
I think he beats him again.
I think he beats him again.
I don't know. I mean,
it's a good fight,
how many fights did Estrada have at that point in his career?
A couple of fights back. It was, wasn't it? It was about it was a few back. It was about 7 fights back.
You know what? But I mean, honestly, I can't disagree with anyone who would favor Roman Gonzalez. And I actually have to kind of, I guess, backtrack on what I said. Not necessarily what I said, but I think the point that I was making, and that for some reason I always thought, Chocolatito was like 30 or something, but I think he's only 27. So I think he's still in the prime of his career. So
but it's still
I don't know.
I think you're right. I think Estrada's got closer. I think he's improved since his loss.
Yeah, and the first fight was, it was pretty competitive too.
Yeah, it was competitive. Yeah.
Yeah.
At the lower weight classes, 27 is probably past it. These guys are probably collecting their pensions at that age, and probably
that's a good point.
Like fucking minimum weight. The guys are probably over the hill at 21. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or maybe I'm just being disrespectful to those weight classes. I don't know.
I think Chocolatito's a different kettle of fish. Really, I think he's a different breed.
Yeah, Chocolatito.
Valoria's fucking 34, is he not?
He is. Yeah, but he's been past it for a while now. So.
But you listen to Steve Kim and the others. Sorry, I keep mentioning Steve Kim's name, but I agree with him. Fucking Valoria is a very good fighter.
He was a good fighter.
He was, exactly. He used to be a lot better than he is now. He's still pretty good, but he used to be damn good.
Chocolatito beats him.
Prime for prime.
He beats him easy now.
Yeah, even prime for prime, he beats him easy. So, yeah.
That pay-per-view in the States is too. They heavily favour the A sides, don't they? It's going to be a great card. I'm going to enjoy those fights, but they definitely favour the A sides.
Marky Mark TMT in the chat says Inoue beats them both. Maybe in Japan.
Well, he doesn't at the moment with his hand, so.
Yeah. Take a Japanese fighter out of Japan, and we'll see what happens.
I mean, there's a good chance Inoue does beat him, but there's a big difference between 43 fights and 8 fights.
Inoue.
That
sounds like some kind of sushi.
Anyone else see the fight? I'll take that as a no. Shall we move on then? Let's go to the UK. Frank Buglioni versus Fedor Chudinov for the regular super middleweight WBA title. Bit of a mismatch. We said it when the fight got announced that Buglioni is a bit lucky to get a shot at the regular title. He's not really done anything to prove it. He's kind of British level at best, maybe even less than that, maybe area level. He's got a lot of heart though.
That's harsh.
No, okay, I take that back. Not area level.
English level.
All right.
But just
on
the borderline, but yeah. He's shown a lot of heart on Saturday night. It wasn't competitive though. I've only saw Fedor Chudinov once before against Felix Sturm. I was a bit critical when we reviewed that fight. He didn't really impress me against Sturm. I thought he was a bit basic. He showed me a few different things against Buglioni. I thought his jab was really impressive. It was sharp. Buglioni he doesn't even know how to block a jab, man. Like, he couldn't even block. He was blocking the jabs with his face. And I think Buglioni he was throwing a lot of shots. They looked impressive, but Chudinov's high guard was blocking most of him, and I just didn't understand why Buglioni didn't try and creep a few right hooks behind the elbow and try and go to his body a bit more because his hands are so high. But there was a bit of controversy as well. I think it was at the end of the 6th round. The bell went and Buglioni threw a shot, dropped Chudinov. Chudinov didn't look hurt to me. I don't think he was hurt. But I watched the interview with Frank Warren afterwards, and he thought, he thought that too much time got wasted with Terry O'Connor. And also I'm thinking, he's lucky that he didn't get disqualified. You know what I mean?
He should have been disqualified. The guy nearly got knocked out after 3 seconds after the bell's gone.
I think he heard the bell as well. I think that was a blatant punch.
Obviously, Terry O'Connor's his ref. We've seen it in all the big fights. Somehow Terry's in there for him. We saw against Kazaki Manfredo. You know, cleverly Kovalev, he thought that maybe Terry could do it for him. You know, he got him back to the corner, but there's not much he could do for Cleverly in that fight, you know what I mean? But it's just ridiculous. What's Terry O'Connor supposed to do for you in that? What? Give you the belt? He's lucky he didn't get disqualified.
He was... Chudinov was walking back to his corner when he punched him, pretty much.
Chudinov put his hands down to go back to his corner, and he's eating a right hook.
He took it well, though, didn't he?
Yeah, he did.
He's got no power, has he? He's got no real power.
He got straight back up. He didn't even complain. He just got straight back up and walked to his corner.
Yeah.
He actually did look like a Terminator at that point.
Man versus machine.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I haven't seen the poster, know what I mean by that.
Buglioni wasn't competitive. Like, I didn't give him any rounds. If you could give him a round, maybe you could say the first.
I gave him the first.
Did you? All right, fair enough. But apart from that,
what was coming.
It was just a big mismatch, to be honest. And he's shown a lot of heart, though. Like, I thought maybe the Collins brothers should have pulled him out maybe in the 9th or 10th, because you know his energy was sapping and he was taking a few more bigger shots at that point. And I think that's bad on them not to pull him out, because they could have took some years off his career with that, because he's not winning yet. You know, I know he's at home in front of his fans and shit, but you know, he's not competitive. His punches have not got no snap on him. Just pull him out.
Yeah, they should have saved him, because they're the kind of fights that do real damage, aren't they? When you're tired and taking big shots.
Yep.
And you know, they could have saved him, because there's still some UK level fights that he could take at some point. You know,
that Markham rematch would be a fun fight. The first fight was quite fun, so the rematch would be decent.
He took a shellacking for those last 3 rounds, and he didn't need it.
No,
because he was gassed after about 6.
Yeah, visibly gassed as well. I think one thing Chudinov was doing really well was he was cutting off the ring well.
Yeah,
and Buglioni didn't really have anywhere to run. He was using his feet, but as soon as he stepped to one side, Chudinov was there. Tried to walk off to the other side. Chudinov was there, jabs in his face. The right hand was working well. I've said it a long time ago that Buglioni can't block the right hand. And again, he was eating so many right hands from Chudinov, and he visibly gassed, like he said, very early on, which surprised me. I thought.
Yeah, no, he was just out of his depth, and it was he should have been pulled out. And the commentary was all over the shop, wasn't it? They were, trying to say, isn't he doing well? Isn't he doing well? It's like, he's taking a fucking beating here. You know, you can't talk this up. Not even Horling could have talked this fight up, you know.
Yeah, Leon, you and me usually give the Box Nation commentary credit, but they were pretty poor on
it was pathetic,
Saturday.
Wasn't it, really?
Yeah. They were poor. Anyone else? Ari, you got anything to add, or should we move on? Move on. Got a shit on Derek.
Wait.
Oh, go on.
On Buglioni?
Yeah.
No. You know, he did better than I expected. I thought he'd get knocked out. You know, he showed great heart, and his chin held up. I don't think anyone would have thought that, you know. But I want to see this Chudinov against someone legit.
Who would you like to see him against?
I don't really rate a shot Sturm, and obviously Buglioni, he's barely top 10 in our super middleweights that we go over here, you know what I mean? So
who would you like to see him
I want to
against?
see him, well, he's got a fake belt anyway, so what does it really matter? But, you know, anyone decent.
They're talking about the Sturm rematch, but what the fuck? What's the point?
I don't understand how Sturm gets this stuff. It's really like, he's constantly one fight away from world titles.
He's got pictures, he's got evidence, he's got something on someone.
Because I heard he's mandatory. I don't understand. How is he mandatory?
No idea. The WBA made their own rules up.
Lost.
I think you're being disrespectful to Felix Sturm. I mean,
he's true, man.
He's got a great win against Oscar De La Hoya.
Many moons ago.
Yeah. Now, who knows? Who knows how the politics work? The fact is that the German market is a very big market, and any half-decent fighter is going to get pushed to the ceiling.
That's true.
The thing is, I feel like Sturm's ceiling isn't very high. Like Chocolatito size, but, you know, these guys, they'll get recycled. because no one wants to give up on the German breadbasket. So the Germans, they can't get a good German fighter, so they'll import one from fucking countries you've never heard of, and then Germanise their name.
Germanise.
Fucking Boris Kovganovsky turns his name into fucking Fritzo. Fritzo Franken from fucking Dusseldorf.
Von Schoenheiser.
Yep. Baron von Schoenheiser. And it's always a super middleweight or a cruiserweight.
Yep. All right, let's move on.
Down the Fitzel hole.
Derek Chisora was terrible. He even admitted it himself, but that was one of the worst fights I've seen in a long time.
Oh, it was so bad.
What happened? Because I've heard it was terrible, but I still haven't watched it.
He was just stumbling around like a drunk man.
This guy's been knocked out by everyone, though. He got knocked out in 2 rounds by Dillian White, this Nascimento, and Derek Chisora went 10 rounds with him.
The guy was almost laughing at him, like running around, just laughing at him.
Chisora just throwing these wild punches, man, just missing him so much. It's fucking, seriously, it's the worst fight I've seen in a long time. Chuba, getting some mic noise if you might.
Sorry, mate.
But yeah, he even admitted it in an iPhone video afterwards. He said that's his worst performance as a professional boxer. So,
I mean, he's done. He can't have another big. What big fight can he have and have any chance of winning? What's left for him, really? Get fed to Joshua, get knocked out in a round.
That's what I'm thinking, but he would have to.
Be around.
That would have to happen by Warren and Hearn working together, and that's not really likely. So he would have to leave Warren, which I can't really see him doing because he's being quite loyal to Warren, I think.
Yeah, he is. But I'm just saying, but what can Warren do for him?
He was saying in that same video that he's got something big cooking for December.
I bet he does, the fat bastard.
Hellenius too.
In Russia, he was saying Russia, so I don't know what. Maybe the White Tyson, maybe Chagev. I don't know.
What about Roy Jones? He's Russian.
Maybe Roy Jones, yeah, because you did bump into Roy Jones while he was over here, so I don't know.
But yeah, it's nearly time to hang him up, isn't it? Really, I think.
Yeah, he was terrible against Fury in the rematch. He's looking shady. He knocked that guy out in his last fight quite early. He was a nobody. He struggled with this dude. Chisora's done, man. I like the dude. I think he's a character, and we always need characters in boxing. But when you're done, you're done.
Yeah,
he's never been the same since that press conference.
Since he got glassed. He glassed me.
His soul is somewhere on a tripod. And fucking Adam Booth's mantelpiece.
Yeah. Hell no, his soul is somewhere like in like some broken pieces of glass, man. Shit.
Go on, Joe. Give us the he glass me.
The Superman.
Jesus Christ, man, that's sad to hear, man. See, this is how long I haven't been watching boxing. Derek Chisora's fighting and lost, right?
No, he didn't. He won, but...
Oh, he won? Well, fuck,
he won
man.
horribly.
A bum.
He won like a bum.
Yeah, man. That's some miserable shit, man. Ah, Jesus Christ. What fight is coming up that I should be interested in? Come on, excite me.
Well, we're trying to keep to a schedule here, Joe, so...
But let's be fair, Joe would do us a favour by getting us off the rest of his card quickly.
No, but he would. But I just wanted to get your 2 cents on the Samir Munemi versus Ryan Walsh fight. Did you see that, Leon?
Robbery.
Do you think it was a blatant? I thought it was a close fight. I thought Munemi won, but like a lot of people screaming robbery. I didn't think it was a robbery. I don't think.
I had him by 2.
That's not robbery, then, is it? Really?
No, but I think that was a generous 2. He could have lost it. He could have won it by 4.
Oh, okay.
If scoring it on a different day, he clearly won it, I thought.
Fair enough. And the rest of the card's pretty weak, isn't it? So.
Yeah.
All right, move on. Joe, seeing as though you want to change the conversation, I got a question for you. It was asked by the friend of the show, Wasif, who's also in the chat. He sent it me earlier. He said, ask the panel if we think that Vlad's injury was a tactical duck because Fury can go off the rails in between camps and Vlad could continue training behind closed doors. What do you think of that question, Joe?
To be honest with you, that's exactly what I thought when I first heard the news about like a couple of days ago. And when I seen like his video, I think Vladimir posted a video. He's all smiling, sounding all happy. Sorry, fans, I will reschedule the fight. Like, what the fuck, man?
Yeah, but you said it.
I'm thinking in the back of my head, Fury's probably like, he's like, man, fuck this shit, pig out, fucking get out of shape, and then go back and train, and then come looking sloppy and lose.
Maybe the whole.
Honestly, I don't think Vladimir's hurt, man. I think he's just trying to like milk this shit as much as he can. Either that, or he's like really probably thinking that he's getting old now, that he really needs like a little bit more training or something. Or he might be scared of Fury. I don't know.
Maybe the Batman costume just took his soul.
I saw that picture, man. Some funny shit.
He wore that throughout the press conference, Joe.
Ah, Jesus Christ, man, that's funny.
Same question to you, Chu. What do you think about this whole injury situation?
Yeah, I'm devastated for Fury. I don't really. People who listen to the show, I mean, they know that I don't really rate Tyson Fury that highly. But he just keeps psyching these heavyweights out. These heavyweights don't want to get into the ring with him. Like, these guys are just terrified of him. I think they just get intimidated by the fucking razzmatazz that he brings to the heavyweight division. And these guys, they don't want any of Tyson Fury. It's probably what I'd say to you if I was a gullible cunt. Really, Fury is getting a little window to hype the fight more. I think really the fight is just starting to kind of pick up steam with the casuals. You know, I'm just hearing guys at my work who don't usually talk about boxing. All of a sudden, after Fury dresses as Batman, now they're talking about the fight. I think maybe if they were smart, which they are smart, Klitschko's a very smart guy. Yeah, just postpone the fight by a month. Let it build even more. More money for them. More money for Fury. You know, I think it's a wise business move. I don't see any injury. It's just business.
Yeah. That's what I think too, man. I think it's just business, you know. Maybe if they do postpone the fight and they have a press conference, he should come in with another fucking costume.
I think Klitschko should go as Superman, because I know there's a Batman Superman film coming out.
That'd be amazing. That would be excellent. Leon?
Oh man, that fucking stage entrance would be fucking epic, man.
Yeah. Leon, your thoughts?
No, I think he's injured. I don't think it's anything other than a straight up injury, personally. But, you know, I wouldn't put it past the Klitschko's. They've pulled some shit in the past. But, yeah, my gut feeling says he's actually injured. Yeah, that's all I've got to say on that, really.
All right.
I'm a bit gutted, though, because it was going to be... Yeah, it was going to be a great fight.
Yeah, it's a shame it's been pushed back, because I was looking forward to it.
How did he get injured, man? Did, sparring session, Shannon Briggs came and harassed him? What happened?
Walking onto the private jet when he was flying back to Germany from... he was at the press conference and injured within 12 hours. So.
The step on the private jet was a bit misshaped.
Wobbly, yeah.
You're bullshitting that. Really?
Well, I don't know.
We're just
I don't
trolling.
think he'd had much... He didn't seem like he had much time to train between flying back from London for the press conference and announcing he was injured. Leon,
that part of it does make it suspect. I like you think that it's a genuine injury, but just that whole situation of he had a press conference and then 12 hours later he's injured, that's the only part that makes it suspect for me, because I don't think he's got anything to worry about with Fury. I think he'll beat him. So I don't think he's ducking him. But like Wasif said, maybe it's a tactical duck. Maybe he's just trying to throw Fury off his game a bit, let him go off the rails, eat some crappy food, put some weight on, not train, and fight a worse Fury.
I think he would. It's a risky business because he puts himself in. He doesn't put Sky in a good position with that. So on a business level, they're not going to be happy with that because they've got a pay-per-view without a headline fight.
Ooh, that's right, huh? Wasn't Kell Brook like the undercard?
I couldn't see Klitschko doing something as risky as that, as fucking up his opportunity of getting back on Sky.
Eddie Hearn has had a horrible year.
Horrible year.
Just so unlucky, man. What's he done to deserve his luck? This is fucking a horrible, horrible year for Matchroom.
I think he's getting repercussions from putting Cleverly Bellew 2 on pay-per-view. I think the karma gods are coming back to him, I think.
Shit. So what does this mean? Did Kell Brook postpone his fight too, or what?
No.
Well, we're going to get into this because I'm waiting for Ari to jump back on. But yeah, basically, Sky and Matchroom are trying to go ahead with the pay-per-view with Brook headlining.
I think it's more on Sky.
I think it is, but then end of the day, Hearn works with Sky, so then he's half to blame for me. Like,
no. This is why I'll stick up for Hearn. In this situation, he's the supplier. Like, if Sky want this, they could stop it.
I have a quick question for all you guys, since you guys are in the UK, because you guys seem to be bummed out when fights get announced as pay-per-view. Like, how much do you guys usually pay for that?
Fuck all.
Compared to you guys, it's not that expensive. It's probably like £20, which is like $35, $37, something like that.
Yeah, it's not a lot, but compared to, like, I know some shiesty shit that they're gonna pull. Like, let's say if Kell Brook fights goes on, and then let's say Klitschko's fights like a month later or like 2 months later, you guys eventually have to pay pay-per-view again, which is like you guys are paying what, £60 when it comes to it, right?
Yeah, but I think this Brook pay-per-view will do poor, to be honest, because all the feedback I'm reading from Twitter, and there's a bit of an outrage going on because people don't think that people don't think Brook versus Diego Chavez is a pay-per-view worthy fight. So
it's not. He's not the. That's
hell no, it's not.
It's not his come out fight as a pay-per-view to be a. Although he gets it, it's difficult, isn't it? Because he wasn't really the pay-per-view star of that last one. He was just the like fight. You know what I mean?
Man, that card is so miserable, man. That shit. If it was here in the States, that shit for sure would be like a Showtime Extreme.
Don't know. It might be PBC and Spike.
No.
Yeah, just boxing analyst in the chat is saying, responding to my comment that it's been a bad year for Matchroom. He's saying, how is it a bad year for Matchroom when Tyson Fury is not a Matchroom fighter? But, Brook Chavez is on that pay-per-view card. I'm sure they've kind of budgeted for that. I mean, I'm not going to pay for Brook Chavez. Not that I pay for any fight, but no one else is going to pay for that. They would be buying it for Tyson Fury and Klitschko.
Exactly. So this fight has been exposed now, isn't it, by this other fight being cancelled? And it's not strong enough to carry a pay-per-view, and he can't bolster up the card in, how long is it, 5 weeks?
Yeah, that's the funny thing. In interviews on the same day, people are asking, will this continue to be a pay-per-view? And he said, we'll beef up the card a bit. I've been on the phone speaking to a few people. And I'm thinking, you can't beef it up to the extent of making it a pay-per-view in such a short time, because people need preparation time. So I think Ricky Burns' opponent is still a TBA. I think one of the poorer McDonald brothers on the card, like,
European level fight.
Yeah, you can't beef up that card, man.
No.
Not in that time.
I mean, he's got Eubank, but who's he going to actually fight?
Eubank's going to fight a couple of bums, just like No, seriously, just like Martin Murray's been doing, he's just going to use him as a utility man on a few cards just to make the card look a bit better than it is.
Do you think he throws AJ on as a panic?
It's going to
the other fight.
It's going to put the Dylan White at risk then, isn't it?
Yeah, but I mean, he could save that card.
I could see him doing it, to be honest. I could see them maybe moving Dylan fight and the Josh White to this card.
Wasn't thought about that. No, it's too.
Actually, now they've sold tickets and all that in the O2. They couldn't do that, could they? No.
Yeah.
That sucks, man.
Yep.
That honestly sucks. Just because these two, I mean, one guy decided not to fight, it throws off the whole fucking event.
But I think the thing, they might go cheap on it, Cam. They could go like 10, 12 quid.
But then they're setting a precedence then, aren't they?
No, they're saying we're giving you this discount on this fight because we recognise but they can't. Yeah,
they could do that, but
they could. I think they might. I bet it's 15, 40, 99.
I was speaking to Ari before the show, and for me, the biggest reason why they continue with this card as a pay-per-view is because Brook will get poached by Heyman if he doesn't become a pay-per-view fighter in the UK. So that's the biggest issue.
This is because Sky have been told, Eddie Hearn's been told, has told Sky, I've got with this Fury thing, I can make a pay-per-view, and then they've gone back to Sky and they said, don't care, we still want our pay-per-view. So I think it's on Sky.
Sky pulling the mafia move on him. What, you haven't got the money, so what?
He's a supplier, man. He's they're the client, Sky. It's like, you just do what you're told.
Yeah.
He does what he's told.
Any word on Amir Khan?
Amir Khan's he's been wearing terrible suits on Instagram, and he keeps talking about
playing
Floyd
the piano, right?
Playing the piano. Yeah, the thing about Khan is I'm a big Khan fan, but it's just I've got to a point now where I'm just fed up with the guy. Social media wise, I still like to watch him box, but he's just like that guy that keeps asking the girl out, and she keeps saying no. But he keeps asking her out. It's like, come on.
Yo, man, that's so funny that you say that, dude. He's like one of those fucking obsessive stalkers.
Yeah, exactly. And it's just got to a point now. It's got so old. Like, Floyd's retired. I still think he's going to come back, but at the moment, he's officially retired. So stop talking about him. Talk about Pacquiao. Talk about Brook. Did
you not see that thing on Sky? He's going to use Pacquiao as bait to get Floyd.
I find that funny as fuck. Like, okay,
to be honest,
the boy shot Cam.
Fucking Floyd scarred him for life, man. And then it's not even doing him any justice when you have Andre Berto like fucking posting pictures of him in Italy and having fun in the beach and shit like that, spending that Floyd money.
He must be hanging about with Tyson Fury because he's starting to dress like the Riddler.
His dress code's terrible, man. That happens
take
to people.
Take a good look at that picture. I swear to God, there's a question mark on that suit.
There is. I'm sure there is.
There's several.
All right. Anything else? I want to see if Kev's back. Kev, are you there, or are you still busy? I think he's eating some food, so we'll get back to Kev in a bit. I wanted to get Ari's opinion on this as well, but he's gone as well. Take a little break. I'll talk about the Predictions League for a sec. Hopefully some people will jump back. Busy week in the league. We've had a lot of complaints about Ari. I think
he's juicing.
Yeah, a lot of the
speculation.
Yeah,
he's definitely juicing.
Yeah, a lot of the fans are requesting. A lot of the fans are requesting all year round drug testing for Ari because he had an excellent week. He got 240 points this week. Went into first and extended his lead to 228 points to Moen10, who's got 628 points to Moen10, who's got 568 in second. I'm in third. Chappie Hover's in fourth with El Terrible and Inverness Mark. Brutal Deluxe is fifth. Mun is sixth. Lamarcus Malvo in 7th, Zizou in 8th, Animal Trousers and G-Man in 9th, and my girl Sarah, aka Sasa, she's in 10th. She had a good week as well, 220 points, up 20 places into 10th.
Take the test.
I think, yeah, maybe Sarah needs to take the test as well. She needs to take some PED testing. Got a few fights this week. We got the Javier Fortuna Velasquez fight. That's tomorrow on Fox Sports 1. And then big over Mackenzie, man. Great to see him.
The upsetter.
Yeah, great to see him getting the title shot. My biggest concern.
Man, just real quick, man. While you were talking, I'm sorry if I laughed. And dude, I'm over here YouTubing Tyson Fury Klitschko, and then I see the fucking Batman outfit. Did
you not see it before? No.
I haven't seen it, man. I only seen like one picture of it. I see fucking Klitschko all the way in the far left. And Tyson Fury just leaning with his little Batman suit. Ah, Jesus Christ, dude.
All right, let me get back to that. Over Mackenzie versus Victor Emilio Ramirez. Short notice fight. I really want Oval to do it. I've not seen Ramirez fight. I might try and YouTube his fight with Ola Afolabi. See what I'm going to do for the prediction. Probably favouring Ramirez, to be honest, just because he's had time to prepare, but Oval, man, you can never count him out. If within 6 rounds, man, he'll probably knock him out. If it goes further than 6, then probably Ramirez. Antonio Orozco versus Humberto Soto. That's on the undercard of Lucas Matisse versus Victor Postal on Saturday. And at the same time, there's a PBC card going on with Adrian the Problem Broner versus Khabib. I'm not pronouncing the second name. And Jose Pedraza versus Edna Cherries on the undercard of that. Okay, getting back to the boxing. Let's see if Kev's back. Kev, are you back yet? No. Alright, let's move on. What else did I have in the itinerary? That's about it. You guys read or seen anything you want to discuss?
You spoke about Eubank signing.
Oh, yeah, actually, Eubank.
Yeah.
Joe, not Black Ski Mask Joe, but Welsh Joseph Morgan did predict this to me. He did say to me a few weeks ago that he thought that this was going to happen and the Eubanks were going to sign with Eddie. I didn't really think it was going to happen just because I've seen interviews with Senior, aka English, saying that he couldn't really take Hearn serious because obviously he saw him as a kid running around the venues when his dad Barry Hearn was running the show. So because of those comments, I didn't think it was going to happen. But Eubank Jr.'s kind of burnt his bridges with all the promoters he's been with so far. So I know. What's so funny, Joe?
Yo, man, who the fuck is in the Joker costume? The Tyson Fury press conference. Jesus Christ, man.
I don't know, Joe. You need to stop interrupting me, please. Everyone's gonna think you're drunk again, Joe. Remember that episode where everyone thought you were drunk?
Yeah, man, I'm not drunk. I'm like, what the fuck is going on in this interview? All right, I'll hang up, man, because I'm having a good laugh here.
All right, I've lost my train of thought. Leon, what was I talking about?
You were saying that Chris Eubank Senior sees Hearn as a small child, and that's why he wasn't going to sign with.
Yeah, and even Warren was saying that the Eubanks are so hard to negotiate with. He offered him numerous fights that kept turning them down. So he's kind of happy that they've left their contract finished with Warren, so they've gone off to Hearn. I definitely think it's the best platform. Sky, the most visible. Box Nation are a great channel for me. I think it's a great value for money because they pick up so many of the American cards. But Box Nation's UK cards are fucking terrible.
They're shocking.
Yeah, just as the weekend showed, the Buglioni card was fucking terrible. But the only thing that saves Box Nation is the international fights that they get, which for the money, I know you and me subscribe, Leon. It's decent value for money, isn't it? Really?
Yeah, it's good. You're getting one really good fight a week usually, aren't you?
Yeah, like this weekend they've got the Lucas Matisse card, then they got the Lemieux Triple G card, They've got Cotto, Canelo, like all this shit's like pay-per-view in the States. Well, apart from the
And
Matisse.
we're paying £200 a year.
Yeah, exactly. So we're definitely getting good
Something
value
like
for
that.
money.
Yeah. But yeah, I think but the most interesting thing about the Eubank thing is Booth.
Oh, the Dark Lord.
I love that. I like that a lot. You know, I'm a Eubank fanboy, aren't I? Like father and son.
Yeah.
I think this is perfect for him. Couldn't have picked a better person for him.
Booth is going to be his full-time trainer now? His
Yeah.
Pops isn't going to be in the corner?
Well, him and the original trainer are going to work together.
Okay. Because I just don't want to see his Pops I don't want to see his Pops as the only guy in the corner because he seems disinterested when he's giving advice. Huh?
But Booth wouldn't put up with that stuff. We all know what Booth's like. He's an egomaniac himself, so he isn't going to put up with, it's about him when he's training someone.
Do you think that relationship will last long? Because I think they'll lock horns. Because like you said, he's a bit of an egomaniac. Your senior's an egomaniac. And I think they'll probably, like, 2 fights in, they'll just part ways.
Well, look, this is on Junior to go, right, this is my trainer. I'm in control of my career now. And put his foot down. If it's going well, he's a fighter. It's got to be his decision, not his dad's decision anymore.
I think that early loss too that he suffered takes away some leverage and everything. Like it wasn't all smooth sailing. You already got a loss. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I think hopefully that will open his eyes up to And Booth's perfect for a guy like Eubank who's got all the shots.
He's got the power, the athleticism.
And if he teaches him to set traps, he'll knock a lot of people out.
To be honest, as a trainer, I'm a big fan of Beef. I've said it before, so I'm like you, Leon. I'm really excited about this matchup. I just hope
I'm
it
really
can last.
excited.
Yeah, I just hope as well they don't feed Eubank Junior just poor position now.
Well, he's got to be top 15, hasn't it?
Yeah, he's got to the level now.
Mean?
I just don't want Hearn to just use him on random cards or this card's a bit weak. Let's throw Eubank Junior on there. Because he did give that impression in the press conference, I thought.
How active are they going to keep Eubank?
Well, that's the thing he said, because he's not being that. Because he's not being active, he wants to get out a few times. But to me, that just means if you're fighting guys on short notice, the guys are not going to be of high quality.
Yeah, I could see that too. Like you said, they know he's a name, so if you need to fill a card, you need to do anything like that, you put Eubank on it.
He's already coming off a win against a good guy, so Eubank should beat him. Should get good fighters now, shouldn't he? Really?
Yeah, because that Chudinov fight was a decent fight too. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I love that fight.
That was an excellent fight.
That was a fun fight to watch. I know he caught a lot of shit. People were saying he's a little sloppy, but that's just what he is. He's going to go for the kill. He's going to try to put somebody to sleep, and he's going to swing from his heels.
And he did the walk away, didn't he?
Yeah, I love that shit.
The Matrix.
That shit's official. I mean, it wasn't quite the Deontay Wilder stomp around the ring after stopping a bum in 11 rounds or anything.
How bad was that?
Acting like he was Tyson who just knocked out Spinks in 90 seconds after an 11-round TKO.
That was pretty poor, I thought.
Yeah, that was bad.
Going 11 rounds with a French tickler. Quite boxing, man.
Deontay Wilder looked like one of those Jewish ladle things you spin round. He just went off on one. But fucking, see, the only bad thing about Eubank going with Eddie Hearn and Sky and shit is...
Who's Eubank?
Eubank.
Eubank.
Oh, we won't get to see Billy Joe Saunders in
the rematch.
Yeah.
Well, Eubank didn't want it.
Yeah, I don't know if he wanted it. It wouldn't fill up Wimbledon, so I don't know if it's worth it for a rematch.
Eubank, all he had to do was give up that fake belt he had, and he was going to get a rematch, but Eubank didn't want it.
What does he have, like an IBO or something?
No, he's got WBA interim.
Oh my god!
Not even a belt.
How do you keep track of these belts?
That's the thing. It's like, why would you want to keep that belt? It's a nothing belt.
Yeah,
he just didn't want. He didn't want that boxing lesson again.
I don't know. He came on strong at the end of that fight. I mean, I thought a rematch he would win if he sharpened up. But maybe he's not good enough to sharpen up. Who knows?
And all the quotes
we'll find out over time.
All the quotes with Eubank Senior saying, "Oh, he would destroy Golovkin." Man. Come on.
Oh yeah.
Come on. Come on, English.
Be
calm
very
down.
mindful. Be very mindful.
Destroy him on the catwalk.
He'd have to run it. He'd have to. No, I won't do that, Coach. Right.
He said, "Be very mindful." Perhaps I know what I'm talking about when I say he's a dangerous puncher.
Having a strong referee who could save the fighter, that was brilliant.
Yeah, you guys, I just hope they have a referee. Oh man, I got to give that team credit. I mean, if you're gonna be completely batshit crazy, you got to be completely out there, and that's what I like about his father. I just don't want him in the corner. I want him in the whole, pre-fight build up. Yeah. But in the corner, I just feel like by the time he starts talking, it's 25, 30 seconds in. He says two things, and then he stands 20 feet away when saying it, like he's trying to get camera time. Like it's weird.
He's such a maniac. I love him. I fucking love him. He's such a nutbag.
Adam Booth is just the perfect fit for that team, man. That's just like a team.
It's a reality show, is what it is.
Yeah, it's just fucking all three of them playing mind games
at home with the Urbanks.
A team of psychics. You know what I mean? They're just playing mind games with the opponent. That's going to be fireworks.
Ari, your thoughts about Eubank signing to Hearn and going with Booth? Ari?
He's gone again.
Hello.
Yeah,
here he goes. Mic check.
Be mindful.
I don't even want to talk about. I want to more talk about Vlad doing a hay and shitting himself after a press conference.
All right, go ahead then, because I know we didn't get Kev's thoughts on that, so you two guys chop it up.
I'm sorry, but it's dodgy.
That was crazy.
You pull out 12 hours or 1 day after a presser. It's obviously mind games.
Yeah. When did this injury happen? Before or after Batman came in the building?
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
It's not that I'm not going to say he's scared. It's more about, delaying the fight, hoping that Fury goes off the rails a bit. And I think he's already having a long camp.
You're right, Ari. I think he saw that. I think he saw Fury wasn't playing games. He was serious. Like he was in the right mindset. I think he didn't see doubt in Fury, so he's like, let me push this off. And like you said, hopefully he falls off the rails, and he just gets a little out of control or a little too overconfident or something like that.
Yeah. Fury's doing everything he can to sell the fight. It's just ridiculous. Why can't he get his big fight that he's been trying for? Then you see this prick Hay on Twitter laughing. Like, stay retired. You want to be celebrity, whatever. You're a joke.
He's a bellend. Forget him. Don't even talk about him. But do we know how well the fight was selling? Is there any chance that tickets weren't selling?
I think it was selling.
Yeah?
From what I've heard, the stadium was selling better than any Klitschko fight previously. That's what I remember hearing.
Okay. I just didn't know.
Fury was getting the job done, A lot of Brits were going over.
Yeah, I can't see
money.
I can't see any way that fight wasn't selling.
It was selling.
And the press conference. The press conference just happened, so that gives more chance for it to sell. You know what I mean? Which makes the timing of the pullout even worse.
I don't know. I think really the press conference was the first time that I've heard like a casual, or even like a guy, fans who aren't even watch boxing on a regular basis talk about the fight, because it was all over like our news channels and shit. So if you just give it a little bit more time to marinate, I'm sure it'll be even like fucking like a million homes, like a million UK homes, I should say. Like it'll be a really big fight here if you just give it a little bit more time, I think.
I don't know. I don't think.
No. This was perfect. We've had a shit year. Everyone was looking forward to the good fights that we got coming up in October, November. This is a damper. This is, You know, when I saw the news, I was like, ridiculous. You know,
this was one of the things.
Fight, you know
this was one of the things to save the year, like you said.
Yeah.
So when's the fight going to take place now?
It's apparently, I don't know how true this is. This isn't official, but Sky are saying they haven't got a pay-per-view date till like February or something like that, so they might push it all the way till then. But at first, I heard they were only really looking to push it 3 weeks into November. But again,
yeah, I heard that as well.
Sky want to keep this bullshit Brook pay-per-view, and I haven't spoken on that. I will speak on it right now. And if they keep that pay-per-view, everyone knows how I feel about pay-per-views already. Brook Chavez pay-per-view. Who's the co-main? What? Eubank versus a no mark? Who else is on that? Ricky Burns? I'm not shitting on Ricky Burns. I kind of like Ricky Burns recently, the way, he's come back, but he ain't going to fight no one. That can't be a pay-per-view card. You just know Hearns right now in his office making calls, trying to make shockwaves with Murray, trying to get him a top 10 opponent or something, trying to get Campbell in there defending his British belt. It's ridiculous.
Has anybody ever noticed, like, with these, like you just said, he's trying to do this, he's trying to do that. It seems with boxing promoters, nobody could walk and chew bubblegum. It's like if they're trying to get one guy a fight, they can't get another guy a fight. Like, it seems like they can never work on multiple things at the same time. And we end up getting shit, except, like, long delays between good fights and stuff.
That's a good point. No multitasking.
Yeah,
just
it's
put
like
the fight on normal Sky. It's Brook Chavez. It's just a good main event. It's a decent main event with a shit undercard.
So it's a Showtime level scrap. Like if you take it in the US,
So Ari, rescue the card, be matchmaker. Which fights could rescue?
I can't rescue that card
on a budget. Ari, rescue.
There's not enough time, unless you cancel the Liverpool card and put Smith Fielding on the under. That's the only way.
I think you could get Ricky Burns against fucking.
Versus who?
Fucking hell, I don't even know. Campbell, Ricky Burns, Campbell.
You just want to see Ricky Burns.
Burns will lose.
It'll be a good fight, you know what I mean? And you could get
Burns will lose.
You could get some decent British matches.
There's not enough time. He has to if he wants to feed us this bullshit pay-per-view for the casuals who will lap it up, then he has to bring Smith Fielding closer and cancel the Liverpool card.
He hates cancelling cards though.
He won't do that.
That's the only way I can see that card saved. And he'll have a decent enough excuse to keep the pay-per-view because Smith Fielding's a great fight.
George 92 in the chat said Gavin McDonald versus Kid Galahad, Malta boxing.
Georgie Porgy?
Malta Federation probably sanctioned that fight as well.
I mean, you could have Chris Eubank Jr., Nick Blackwell.
That's not good enough pay-per-view though.
I'm just saying, just build the card up.
And it's funny that he's signed Eubank now, even though he always said I'll never sign him because of his dad and he doesn't respect me and all this kind of stuff. It just shows how glass Hearn is that he had to go back on his word and actually had to sign Eubank because he's been losing all his top guys.
I don't know what he can do to save that card. Who he can put on it.
There's nothing he could do. The card's unsavable. It's too late.
So none of his big names, unless he put AJ, like I said to Cam earlier, unless they risk AJ with some bump.
They can't.
I can't. Are we ever going to see AJ versus Wilder?
Not if Heyman has anything to do with it, because the way AJ's going,
you'd knock him out.
If you give AJ another year,
I think Wilder will get exposed before that fight happens.
I don't want to be too high on AJ, but I've been much more impressed with him than I've ever been with Wilder.
Well, you weren't around earlier. Do you think AJ would have got that French guy out of there in 6 or 7 rounds?
It's tough to say.
The guy's durable.
He's durable, but
AJ's been in there with durable guys before, and he's killed them when we didn't expect it. So. And I know he would adapt. I know he would adapt and try other things if if you're hitting him with everything you got, then you need to maybe change up instead of what Wilder was doing. He was just sticking, repeating, just repeating everything over and over again.
Cam made a great point though about it depends who's reffing. You know what I mean? Because that fight might have could have been stopped before because obviously the guy was hopeless. You know what I mean? But he wasn't really affected. I've never seen him lock his legs against Wilder or even take step backs. I mean,
He was
I
walking
wasn't
down
watching
at the
too
moment.
keen. He was walking him down the whole time. He was fighting. Wilder was fighting off his back foot. And, I'm a big Eubank fan, but it's mainly because of the outside the ring stuff. Like, I like it. He cracks me up, and I think he makes for fun fights. But Eubank and Wilder are basically the same type of flaws. Like, they're being wild and footwork and swinging wide and stuff like that. So, just to be fair, like, I would critique them both the same way, except Wilder uses a bit better jab, but actually a way better jab because Eubank doesn't throw it. But Wilder just steps straight back and his left arm's right down. Like, I can't wait till he gets caught on the way back and he just goes, timber.
Yep.
And I could see that happening. And did you see his quote? Like, and somebody put it out there on Twitter where he's like, not Vlad, I'm the real world champ and stuff like that. Then, dude, challenge Vlad then. Enough. You just fought a complete bum. Like,
did you hear him
don't do that.
You hear him saying, "Oh, I'm going to leave it as long as possible so he gets even older." The guy's 40. Fight him.
The thing is, he's ducking a guy that Vlad already beat.
Yeah.
Povetkin.
But that fight was the most boring fucking fight.
No, it was a horrible fight, but
Povetkin fucking thing.
But you were saying about him moving backwards in a straight line. Povetkin closes his ground very quickly. You can see him catching him on the way back with a left hook.
Exactly. And you could see, like, just fucking Wilder's feet locking and falling. Let's not forget, he got stunned versus Molina, who was a cruiserweight. That sucks. Like, period. And, and he got an eye jammy versus this dude, and he was getting hit clean whenever the guy was throwing. Whenever he threw, he was hitting him. The problem was he didn't throw enough. And that's one thing I got to give Wilder credit for, his cardio. He was throwing a lot of punches.
Yep.
Wild though, man. Like, he was throwing uppercuts from like 2 miles away.
He was throwing Chuck Liddell uppercuts, the one like that he got knocked out against Star Evans. Trying to throw lead right hand uppercuts from an orthodox stance. I'm like, what the fuck? Trust me, I know I'm not a professional boxer, but I've been around enough times to know that that's not a good look. You know what I mean?
And he was those kind of more hooking shots were kind of quite slappy, weren't they? He was like catching him on the side of the head with his like fist and his wrist, wasn't he?
Exactly. His arms were so wide and long by the time he reached. It was like, and that's why he wasn't getting the guy out of there. He's hitting him clean, and the guy was walking right through his shots.
Yeah, just I know you guys are hating on him a bit, but I do see something there. I think he's good for the sport. I want him to be a success. But he doesn't sit down on his punches like he should. It's like a case of like leverage or something. Everybody praises his trainer, but I don't really see a progression. I see a regression.
Well, if he stood his ground with him, Chew, and planted his feet, he should have been able to knock this guy out.
Yeah, but like you guys,
the whole night.
Like you guys are saying, he's going back in a straight line, and I thought the French guy, all he was doing was stepping forward with a jab, and a lot of the times he wasn't even looking at Wilder. He's like looking at the floor, the French guy, and he's just jabbing blindly, and it's landing because he's going backwards in a straight line. And I just think if you're having problems with that guy, like you guys said, if he fights Klitschko lands a right hand, he's going to quantum leap Wilder. He'll just teleport him.
Right. And I always liked Wilder up until like recently when he started getting real cocky and just talking a lot of shit. Like, dude, you haven't done anything. You fought probably the 2 weakest back-to-back title defenses in the history of a weak division. Like right now, the last 15 years, it's been a weak division. And it's one thing. Be humble when you're doing this. You know what I mean? When you're getting served up cupcakes and you're eating dessert, like be humble, be grateful.
Don't start dancing.
Everyone's been shitting on Vlad for years. He's saying, he's fighting these bums. But he was only fighting his mandatories, and then he was criticised for fighting his mandatories. It's like, what has Wilder done since he took over, got that? Who do we think he's going to fight next? He's going to fight no one of any quality, is he?
I don't think so. He's got to fight Povetkin next. They said October, right?
He'll get rid of that belt, and he'll fight someone else.
Yeah. Well, we'll see, because if he gets rid of that belt, then he has no belts. And And you know what? Like, I hear people like, oh, he needs time to develop. I'm like, well, what were those other 20-something fights for? Like, you know what I mean? Like,
Exactly.
those don't count. Like 30 fights, like those don't count. Like, was he not supposed to be developing then? I don't get it. And now you have a belt. There is no more time for that shit. Like, hey, I'll give you a break on one hometown, easy fight.
Everyone gets one of them.
Get yourself a little homecoming. That's it. Like in college football, when you beat up on a bum team and you do your thing, do that. But now it's like, come on, man. You did it twice in a row. So, and let's face it, like, Povetkin's no killer. He's good. But, like, if you can't beat Povetkin, who the fuck are you? You're a nobody.
Yeah.
It's funny,
You're
like,
not the number one guy, are you? You're definitely not the number one guy.
Yeah. I'm not saying he's a bum. He's a legit. If Wilder beats Povetkin the way he beat this guy last night, all the credit in the world. You know what I mean?
Legit,
but the difference is this guy wasn't Povetkin. This guy was a guy who's never been in with anybody any good, and he had 2 losses. And then it's just so bad. Did you talk about that video Ari posted with the weak ass ratings and shit?
No.
So nobody else really cared to tune into the fight, I guess, because the ratings were pretty weak.
Was it 2.65 million?
It was like 2.3 million, but the bad is like a 1.6 rating share. And like that's the difference. I know Vic tried talking about it once on the Boxing Voice. It's like your rating share. So it's like if there's that many people watching TV, your share counts. And like someone made the argument like no matter what NBC would have had on prime time on Saturday night, they would have had like a 1.2 to a 1.8 share. And that's basically what he got, 1.6. And so it's 2.3 million, and it's pretty weak considering. And now everybody's like, well, he's going against college football. I'm like, well, college football's on 4 months a year. Should they stop playing? Like, you know what I mean? Like, it's going to be on 4 months a year every year, so I don't know what it is, and it just did, to me, it did bad ratings, and he's got to do something big now. He's somebody who had great ratings for that Stefan fight on Showtime, and that star was ready to be born. He could have moved him right over. He should have been one of the first fights on network TV. Have it in have that as a showcase fight, and then put the second fight on network TV as a challenge. Build his credibility, and it just didn't happen. And I don't know. I think Anthony Joshua too. Like, I don't know if it's more muscle, like bodybuilding strength or size, but you could tell Wilder's just not a big guy. Like, he's very tall, but he came into this fight under 230, and this guy's putting in hard work. If this guy didn't put in work, he'd probably be like 218, 220 at 6'6". That's pretty fucking skinny. Like, I would love to see him in person and see how, like, he doesn't look that big. But I know his legs are skinny and shit, but that's not a lot of weight, 220 pounds, 225 pounds for a heavyweight at 6'6" is not a lot of natural weight, which makes me think maybe his power was overrated because he was just fighting bums that were there to get knocked out.
Maybe he needs to
guys
get
like
steroids.
Guys like Malik Scott who took falls, who took dives,
Who took a
Get on
win.
the steroids.
Maybe Joshua is.
Probably.
But yeah.
Allegedly.
But think about it, like
Allegedly.
Deontay Wilder has basketball players, but you see these skinny basketball players on the court, and they're basically Wilder's weight. So
Yeah.
it's odd.
It's funny you mentioned that. You don't see many basketball players making the transition into boxing, do you? I mean, all I ever hear is like American footballers.
Yeah.
But what was it? Basketball that Wilder played?
Football. I don't know what level he played. They talk about him like he could have been a University of Alabama player, but I don't know. That remains to be seen. And
But that's like the best of the best.
yeah, that's the top dogs right now. But the thing with Wilder is, like, take a guy like LeBron James, who's a freak athlete. LeBron James, like 25, 30 pounds heavier than Deontay Wilder and basically the same height.
I thought it was basketball.
Nah,
I think
I just checked it.
It was football.
Yeah, he
They
played.
talked about it on All Access that he could have been
Yeah,
playing for University of
yeah, but they
Alabama
said
and
that he
shit.
dreamed of playing. I've got it here. It says he dreamed of playing. That's different to he could
Oh.
have.
I dreamed of playing for Man
I
United.
dreamed of playing for the Mets. I dreamed of playing for the Mets. I can't even hit in slow pitch softball right now. What the fuck does that mean? Oh shit!
All right, we baked enough time with Wilder. Let's move on. I forgot to give the chat I mentioned earlier. So we got Wasif 1, Casual Fan, Nothing for Something, Beast Mode, George 92, Basileus, Nunez 83, Chris DLFC, Supermerc, Kevlar, Shams 1000, Arizona Slim, Supermaster, Marky Mark TMT, Zane's World, Mr. Dermo, Davis Lee 1, Danny Yankee, Jesui, Dave the Sinister, my boy, PM versus Tony Yayo, Bill Bones 101, Jack Captain, Blacksky Mash Joe, Idol for Real, Brutal Deluxe, Lucan, and some guests. Before we move on, talk about next week, I just want to talk to Ari quickly. Ari, you and me, or you and I have a little side bet going on. Cheeky £10 for whenever Julian Williams and Austin Trout face each other. Julian Williams had a fight on Tuesday, Fox Sports 1, toe-to-toe Tuesdays against Quella. Stopped him in the first. Trout was doing the commentary with Mauro Ranallo and got a bit heated. They were showing each other respect, but there's definitely a bit of a rivalry between them, and I think if that fight gets made next, I think it'll be interesting build-up, and I think it'll be really decent fight. Your thoughts, Ari?
Trout don't want that work. Trout knows what happens. And I kind of like Trout, but this J-Rock guy is legit. You know, he's a definite future world champion in my opinion. And, you know, Trout's been ducking him now for nearly a year. So, and, you know, you say we got a bet, but I don't see the fight happening because Trout's most probably going to get the Charlo fight.
True.
You know, he would rather fight Charlo for a belt, and of course I don't blame him, than fighting J-Rock.
That's true. You know? That's a good point, actually.
But of course, if the fight does happen, yes, I'm back in J-Rock, and you've got money on Trout. But I thought you were going to talk to me because you know, I'm the new king, or should I say, I'm at the top and I'm not moving nowhere.
Yeah, well, I mentioned that earlier when.
About the league.
Yeah, I mentioned that earlier when you stepped away.
And I just checked something because I don't have Twitter, but someone gave me word that Seguro was hating. So Seguro, if you're listening, there's no cheating going on. It's just me being back on form. I let you guys cook for a couple seasons. I'm back now. Simple as.
Shit, Ari talking big, man. Ari talking big. How did you find out about that, Ari, man? You must be on Twitter, man.
Don't worry. No, someone gave me a word. Someone gave me the word. Shout out to that person. I've got ears everywhere. I don't need Twitter to know what people are saying.
Grass. Who's the grass?
We'll find confidential.
Snitches get stitches.
Exactly. Confidential. Just know I got ears everywhere. I know I got haters.
Ari Chris DLFC in the chat said #stay humble, Ari.
Chris don't know about me. I don't need to stay humble.
But I mentioned earlier when you had to step away that people want you tested year-round drugs testing.
My door's always open.
He's cycling on and off. That's why he was asked for a couple seasons. And then all of a sudden he's back.
Ari on those IVs.
No, man. Well, like I said to everyone, all I need was a good start because everyone knows I finished strong.
That is true, man. You're doing really well.
And when I said quickly, now if I see you saying about my Dolphins, yeah, we suck, man. I just want Philbin out of there. You know, I've had enough of him. He's ridiculous. Should have went 2 years ago. You know, I want Philbin and Coyle out of there. That's just an NFL plug quickly. Sorry, Cam.
No worries.
Yo, Ari, what were you saying now? Who's gonna be the who's gonna fight Charlo? J-Rock or Trout? Which one?
Most probably. Unless Charlo wants to go on a little bum tour first.
Yeah, he said Trout. It cut out then, Kev.
Oh, man, I would rather see J-Rock versus him. Two younger guys. That's a shitty fight, I think. Trout versus Charlo could be real boring.
Yeah.
Who do you think win, though?
I would probably pick Charlo to win that. I don't think Trout does enough to win, and if it is close, I think the younger guy is the company guy, and he'll get the decision.
Fair
right?
enough.
I mean, Charlo J-Rock, that'd be a fight I'd want to see, actually. I have no desire to watch Trout versus fucking Charlo.
I think Trout hasn't quite realised it yet, but Heyman is just going to use him as food for someone soon. You know, he's come to the end of his time, I think.
Who's he going to use him as food, though? Because we discussed this a couple of weeks ago. 154 is pretty weak. Even though...
Yeah, but, you know, giving him to J-Rock, you know, I think he is not a priority for Heyman, is another way of putting it. He'd rather put him into a fight he'd like to lose to one of his younger guys.
Fair enough.
I think that's how he sees Trout these days.
I think
that J-Rock performance was good, though, man. He got me hyped because, you know, I like J-Rock. I like his style, and I think his approach, he'll be ready to fight anybody. It's just that he hasn't been matched with anybody, unfortunately.
What performance, though, man? Quay was terrible. He got hit with 2 right hands and then just...
yeah, but
size difference.
Yeah.
This guy's been known to be durable.
Exactly. I know he's a little shot and he's slower, but years back, he was the type of guy that you would match up because you're going to get tough rounds.
Oh, did you guys notice, when he was against the ropes with the guard up, like J-Rock was hitting him just with right hands. He was at right hand, pull back, right hand, pull back, right hand, pull back. Yeah. Why was he not hitting him with the left?
He wasn't even moving his feet either.
I found that really strange.
Yeah, he could have took a dive.
Yeah, I mean, if I didn't know beforehand that, you know, everybody was saying that this guy was durable and he took other prospects such and such rounds.
Willie Nelson, he went both of them decision. He went 6 with Canelo.
Yeah, I mean, he's supposedly durable, but to me it just looked like another PBC fucking mismatch.
I agree.
Well, with those guys, you never know. You call them durable, but they take beatings over so many years because they're, you know, outgunned and outmatched. That eventually that breaks you down and you just shot to shit. And that could have just been the case.
Yep, again,
you know,
I mean...
If we cared about him enough to watch like his last 5 fights in a row, you probably would have seen the deterioration in this happening.
And the guy just looked tiny compared to that J-Rock guy. I'm not saying that J-Rock... I quite like this guy. He looks like another shark.
Like Vanez and Ishii.
Like Vanez, Ishii, Trout. I mean, that's the best division in boxing right now.
2 worst sharks ever.
No, but take those guys aside. All right, Canelo, Cotto, the Charlo brothers. So many. I mean, you've got J-Rock there. You've got fucking Lara. So many great fighters.
J-Rock, Lara, both Charlos. There's good fights to be made.
I think there's decent fights. It's not one of the best divisions, but there's decent fights.
Like, I even like a guy like Vanez. I know people don't like him, but he's good enough to have good fights and maybe win some.
No, I actually like Vanez. I think he's fun to watch. And I thought he was winning the Lara fight until that head clash fucked it all up. I think Vanez deserves a rematch with Lara.
You see that tweet he put out?
No, what did he say?
He basically said, I get called all the time for mismatches. I just turn them down and ask for tougher fights. He's like, it's not Al's fault. It's the fighter's fault. They're the ones who choose these bum fights.
Respect his honesty.
He basically just put all the stablemates on blast. All the Heyman guys on blast.
Yep. All right, let's move on. Talk about next week. Probably the biggest fight of the weekend. My boy, La Machina. Lucas Matisse versus Victor Postal. I'm not even going to lie now. I'm going to sound like a casual. I don't think I've ever seen a Victor Postal fight. I think I might have seen the Aiden fight, but I'm not 100% sure. But I'm picking Matisse.
I think you did see that. It was on HBO, and freaking Lampley talked about Postal being in the wild card like 15 times every round and about how he's training around Miguel Cotto, even though Cotto trained in the private room and Postal didn't and shit like that. It was like very biased wild card commentating.
Yeah, I think.
I remember we talked about that post show.
Yeah, it must have been the only one then. But apart from that, man, I'm picking Matisse, man. Matisse's always impressed me, but you always thought in the back of your mind, he relies on his power too much. But against Provodnikov, he's shown the opposite to me. He's shown that he could box and use head movement, use footwork, and he really impressed me against Provodnikov. Maybe Provodnikov was not as good as I thought as well. Maybe to balance it out, who knows? But I think Matisse might go back to beast mode and just use his power on the Postal. You guys, any thoughts?
Yeah, I'm like you. I haven't seen enough of Postal, really. I've only seen the Dean fight, and I think I fell asleep in it. If I remember correctly. Because that was the Marquez Alvarado card, right?
I think so.
If I remember correctly. And I remember I woke up in round 2 of the main event. Yeah, but Postal, I don't know too much. I'd lean towards Matisse right now. I don't know if he'll knock him out. Postal looks like he has a decent chin, from what I remember as well. So, but yeah, Matisse. What other fights is there then? Let me check the league quick. 1 sec. Sorry, Graham.
On the undercard, you got Humberto Soto versus Orozco, and on the same night, you got Adrian Broner versus Khabib, and Pedraza versus Edna Cherry on NBC. Well, I'm not sure if it's on NBC.
That Cherry fight.
It's on Showtime. Broner got pushed off and bumped back to Showtime.
Pedraza versus Cherry might be a good fight.
Yeah.
I still expect Pedraza to win by shutout. But yeah, it's a good fight. Well, it's a bit, it's PBC, it's expected really. We're not going to get the best of the best, but, I know Broner Khabib, I just didn't see the point for this fight. I don't know how they got the hook up, but whatever. At least it's a decent fight week,
Yeah, I hope Broner wins. I don't think he will, but I hope he does.
Why do you hope he does, and why don't you think he'll win?
He's good for boxing.
I think his entertainment value's kind of used itself up now. I think everyone just sees him as a joke. I don't think he's as funny as he was before.
I agree, Cam. His stuff ran a little thin. He doesn't have much substance. He's not very creative, and it's kind of corny or just really absurd.
You can't behave like that and be taken seriously on when you've been losing fights. That's what you can get away with it when you're
winning.
When you're winning, but it makes you look like a penis when you're
losing and doing that shit. Yeah, I agree.
That's what I think. Everyone will say we're haters, but I just don't. I don't like celebrating stupidity either. I don't. It's not clever to be stupid.
When you got to get a guy named Khabib served up to you after a year and a half off to try to get a win, to try to get a belt, to try to get some type of respectability, it's not looking too good for you, man.
No, and that whole belt situation is terrible. How they both deserve to fight for a belt when they're both coming off losses?
Yeah, it's awful.
I mean, Mark TMT in the chat made a good point. Hasn't Broner fought 2 pretty good guys in his last 4 to 5 fights?
Yes.
So his last 2 fights have been, the last 2 losses have been Madana and Porter. I mean, those guys are elite.
Yeah, but the other guys he fought were pretty much bums, right? Molina, who else?
And he lost.
Who was the guys that he beat? Yeah, the 2 good guys he fought, he lost to, and he lost badly to. He lost, 9 or 10 rounds to Porter. He got destroyed by Maidana. He beat a Molina who was coming off of 2 losses, one of them to Humberto Soto, who won every round. So who else did he fight? Who are the other 4 or 5?
Emmanuel Taylor was putting hands on him near the end of the fight.
Emmanuel Taylor, he went life and death with Emmanuel Taylor, who has yet to win a fight since. who lost to another guy who was not a known prospect. You know what I mean? I don't know.
I think it's fair to say that taking the Maidana fight was a good fight to take and a tough fight, and he gets respect for taking that fight.
It was a great fight to watch, too. I have that on my DVR to this day.
But
I still watch that before the gym sometimes.
And he lost, and he ran like a bitch out of the ring.
Yeah, he lost clearly too. That wasn't like a robbery. He got beat up bad.
I think what we were trying to say is his style and the way he behaved is wearing thin now because you're losing.
Yep.
That's what we were trying to say.
Yeah.
Hey, what's Marky in the chat talking about? Talking about food. This isn't food. We're talking about these two guys shouldn't be fighting for a belt. That's what we're saying. The fight's decent, don't get me wrong, but for a belt, it's ridiculous.
This guy hasn't fought for 18 months.
Exactly. Why hasn't this guy fought so long? Has he been injured? What? I don't understand. Did they just pick him up? How long has he been training for this fight? For a belt? WBA is getting too ridiculous. They need to get cut out.
Yeah.
In my opinion. I've had enough of the WBA.
We already brought up the WBA twice this show. We brought it up for this bullshit title fight and for Eubank having a belt.
Yeah.
It's not good.
I think it needs to be 3 main sanctioner bodies now. Go ahead, Chu, sorry.
No, I'm just looking at fucking this. I'm going to try and pronounce the guy's name. Alakardiviev.
Khabib.
Khabib, yeah. I'll keep it simple.
Shish Khabib.
We just keep it simple with Khabib.
He's fought some fucking pretty good names, by the way. I didn't realise he beat fucking Juan Guzman.
Yeah, he gave Vargas a very good fight.
The Vargas fight was nip and tuck. That was
Very nip and
damn
tuck.
near a draw.
I think Guzman hurt his knee as well. I think he's got shady knees like me.
Johann.
Beat Nate Campbell in 2011, probably when Nate Campbell was not bad. Fucking
Not bad.
K's on my buzzer.
Who? What?
It's South African, eh? I'm just gonna click his name.
He had 8 losses.
Hey, tall guy. He was not bad.
We're not shitting we're not shitting on Khabib. We're just saying that like this fight shouldn't really be like regarded as a great fight, and it shouldn't be regarded with the title on the line. Like why these two guys fighting for a vacant WBA super lightweight title?
No, I totally agree. I totally agree. I just think in terms of the competitiveness of the fight.
The guys are evenly matched. They're both B- type fighters.
Yeah,
they're both evenly matched.
I actually think it'd be a decent fight. I'm just not hyped for it. I'm more focused on the Matisse fight because I'm a big Matisse fan. I think
that fight as well.
These cards where you got 2 decent cards going up against each other, it's just bad for boxing because you're just stealing viewers away from your own sport.
It's your boy Heyman, kid. HBO had this fight on the schedule first.
And he's doing it again when Shawnee's fighting. He's got a card on the same night. It's just
on the 16th.
Yeah, I think it's the Cleverly fight.
I don't know. What's the deal with Put it this way, like if you saw both Postal or Matisse versus Khabib or Broner, wouldn't Postal be favored over both of them, and Lucas definitely be favored over both of them? You know what I mean?
For me, again, it's hard to say about Postal because I've not really seen him.
I'd pick Postal over Broner.
I would too. I would pick him over Khabib as well.
Yeah.
There's not many guys at 140 besides Crawford or Matisse. I wouldn't pick him over.
Yeah, and I think this fight's going to be close, this Matisse fight. Because he can outbox him, but it's a very close fight.
Nah, I think, I've got to be honest, I think that Postal's going to win.
He's going to beat...
There's a good chance he will win.
He's going to beat Matisse.
He's quite tall, isn't he? He's 5'11".
Got a good jab, very rangy.
Fuck that, man. Matisse is going to destroy him, man.
But, you know...
Watch me eat crow next week.
I know you got crow coming your way. I think it's a good fight. It's a good 50-50 fight as well. 2 good match of styles. Should be a good fight.
If Matisse beats Postal, that'll be his best one.
What?
Yeah, I think
knocking out Peterson in 2 rounds isn't a better win?
Provodnikov?
But Provodnikov, yeah, but he doesn't win fights, does he?
He really
doesn't win fights. He's the best loser around.
He's good enough to lose, man.
Yeah.
I mean, Peterson can't punch if he's not had his spinach. You know what I mean?
Yeah, but
And
he's still a good fighter. I mean, he got knocked out in 2 rounds by Matisse or whatever it was.
3, I think.
Whatever, he hit the deck often too.
He walked straight through him, didn't he?
That's what I'm saying. That's an impressive win. That's a world class guy that was a title holder that he just fucking demolished.
Yeah, no, I see. You know, it's just gonna be. It could be a real fight of the year contender. This, you know, if it goes well.
I agree, Leon. This is why I fuck with HBO, because in one fight they've just fucking blown away all that PBC bullshit. 50-50. And they've got more coming.
And their best fights are on pay-per-view this year. They're having a weak year too. It's boxing just weak. True. Think about their talent pool's only half because they can't use any of Heyman guys. You know, they can't make the fights they want to make because they don't have the fighters. You know, this whole thing is just fucked up.
And who's Postal with? Because he was on an Al Heyman card last time.
He's with Golden Boy. He went with the buyout, didn't he? When they did all that shit.
Well, no, Postal fought on the undercard of Danny Garcia.
That was a pay-per-view though. That was to fulfill his last thing, no?
I thought it was on the Danny Garcia, like quite recently, the one he fought in.
The Rod Sarko one.
Yeah. I thought it was that.
Hey, what's up,
anyway,
youngsters?
And it doesn't really matter, does it? But I just went off topic there. Sorry.
Lim, tell these guys how shit Victor Postal is.
He's not very good.
There you go.
He's decent. He's the only thing he's got going for him, and the reason why I think he's in the position that he is because of his size.
Yeah, but you can't take size away. People have it.
Yeah, that's fair, but if your skills don't match up anywhere near to a guy like Matisse, I don't think it's really going to matter. He's as basic as it gets. I mean,
he's a 1-2 jab guy, right?
Come on, True. You think Lucas' win over Postal is his best win of his career? Come on, man.
Styles big fight, Slim.
Yeah, but that has nothing to do with gauging how impressive or how good of a win is. It could be a good fight, but that doesn't mean that it's Lucas's best win or anything close to it.
We'll see after the fight. I'm confident. I'm actually picking Postal.
Why? How?
How dare you pick against Matisse?
What has Postal done? Have you seen more than one?
I'm with you,
Postal?
I'm a Lucas fan.
Have you seen? That doesn't mean anything. How many Postal fights have you seen?
I've saw 3.
You've seen 3 fights of his. Against who?
I saw.
There's only 3 on YouTube, so he might be right.
Yeah, but we all know MV True's proclivity to think
to watching 3 rounds.
Yeah, or equating 3 rounds to watching 3 full fights. So let's not get carried away here.
Yeah, we gotta keep it real.
You're just defending your boy Lucas. I get it.
I
get it. Dan.
He's not a Lucas fan though.
I'm not really. No, I'm not that big of a Lucas. I was picking Providenko over Matisse.
You've been picking everybody.
Yeah, but your
Lucas
team wild card though.
Yeah,
exactly. So my heart is torn. You know, I'm like Voldemort. You know, my heart is torn between many different factions or different parties. But what can I say, man? What can I say? No, but in all seriousness, no trolling. I like Postal because you know Marvin's my guy and Marvin's training Postal, obviously. But at the same time, I like Matisse, but I don't like him as much as I once did, obviously, because I think Danny kind of stole his he snatched his soul away in a sense.
So looking at the chat agrees with me.
In what sense?
They're going Postal. See, the one for
the chat's gone Postal.
Yeah, but does the chat? Okay, I'm gonna ask this question to the chat. Does the chat agree by any stretch that a win against Postal is somehow Lucas's best win, or even top 3 wins of Lucas's career? Because if you want to go on resume, the only guy that Postal's ever beaten is a guy named Adine, Selçuk Adine.
Lundy.
I don't even know who the fuck Selçuk Adine is.
You beat Hank Lundy.
He fought Lundy?
No,
he didn't fight Lundy.
Henry Lundy.
Come on, what is Lundy? Lundy's a Friday
No,
night.
it's not Lundy.
That's
He
strictly
fought
what he is.
Yeah, that's not. He didn't fight Hank Lundy. He didn't fight hard work, Hank.
Who do you fight then?
Henry Lundy.
Who the fuck is Henry Lundy?
No one knows.
Is that his stepbrother?
Hang on, that's his name.
All right. Well, nonetheless, let's get back to the idea of the fight itself. I don't know how you can, like, based on what you've seen of Postol.
Hey, wait.
That is Hank. Henry Lundy is Hank Lundy.
Is it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Hank's his nickname.
Yeah.
What's he doing going over to the Ukraine to fight?
Times are hard,
I heard
man.
about this, where he went...
Times are
I
hard.
thought you told me this, that he went to... Someone said he had money problems, so he went to Ukraine to fight.
He did say coming to a city near you. I guess he wasn't joking.
I thought that was limited to the United States.
Nice
It
worldwide.
must have been an interview I watched. I remember I heard someone talking about why Hank went over there. Because, like, he needed money, and they were offering good money. I thought you told me that.
But let's get back on topic, Drew. How do you, like, what
That's right.
from what you've seen of Postol, what makes you think that Postol is going to beat Matisse?
The size, the jab. I think Matisse's 5'6.5".
Yeah.
And according to Box Rec, Postol is 5'11".
Okay.
So basically, Matisse is going to have to leap in.
How tall is Matisse?
He's got a pretty long reach. He's got a long.
There's no way he's only 5'6.5".
I agree with the 1'7" in the chat that Matisse's skills are superior, but you need to reach the guy.
Yeah, and okay, I know this isn't saying much, but if you rewatch that Postol Adine fight, Adine was catching him with some bombs in the first 3 rounds of that fight.
Yeah, and so is Postol.
No, I think you misunderstood what I said. I said Adine was catching Postol with some bombs.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, and I think, and he was getting shook by Adine shots. Imagine what kind of impact Postol's or Matisse's shots are going to have.
Adine can punch. He can't do much else, but he can punch.
I think Matisse punches harder, and he throws combinations. He doesn't throw one punch at a time. You know, Molina was substantially taller than Matisse. Molina's 5'10". You know.
Yeah, and Molina was fucking.
And Molina's a bum. I understand that.
Walking that boat.
And then look what happened towards the end of the fight. Lucas fucking ass raped him.
True.
You know,
right.
no.
Really, outside of those 2 right hands, Matisse was really giving it to him.
No, listen, Wasif in the chat is saying I'm a base and picking solo on height. No, Dan said it himself in the past. Sometimes fucking Matisse doesn't like getting hit. And I think
I agree.
A guy like Postol, he's going to hit Matisse. I think it'll be a big fight. I think Postol is going to hit Matisse more than he's ever been hit.
More than okay, maybe in terms of sheer volume, you may be correct, but in terms of the actual kind of, you know, the accumulation of damage, I don't think he's going to do that, just because if you watch Postol fight, he throws the same 1-2 in terms of all of his combinations, right? The only variation there is a 1-2-3 or 1-2 hook to the body or an uppercut. You know, I don't think a guy like that is going to give Matisse too many problems. And I feel like you can mitigate size if your opponent is overly conservative and you kind of have an idea of what he's going to throw at any given moment.
Hey Lim, is Roach working with him at all, or it's all Marvin? Are you over there at all? Or?
No, I'm in New York right now. But
okay.
yeah, but Roach is doing work with Postol, which probably isn't a good thing, honestly, right? Because he's got that repertoire with, or he's got that rapport with Marvin. So why switch it up? No, but I mean, honestly, I can't say for certain that, you know, Chu's opinion on the fight is ridiculous by any stretch, but I just feel like, what are you basing it off of? Just by the fact that he's a lot taller than he is, and, like, anatomically speaking.
Okay, so apart from Crawford, these are probably the 2 best guys in the 140 division after Crawford.
I can't say that because I don't know enough about Postol.
If you're not counting Pacquiao, in the 140 division, I'd probably say Crawford, Matisse, Postal. I mean, look at the names that Postal's got on his record. He's fought some names, like, I'm not saying it was the best DeMarcus Corley.
No.
I'm not saying it was the best fucking Hank Lundy. But he's beat Lundy, Corley, Aiden. He's built up a wee resume there.
Yeah, but they're all C-level fighters.
Yeah. He's got a better resume than the other two fighters in the other 140 fight. I don't know. Maybe I think the bias Lampley was showing made me a little hard on Postal during that fight, because they were just nut riding that he works out at the wild card, and Cotto's training over there and showing him things even though they weren't even training on the same floor. And it really turned me off a little bit. But then I seen him fight. I think he's got all the tools to really be a good fighter. And we'll see how his chin holds up. No,
I saw Postal get rocked many times in that Adine fight. And I don't know what happened to Adine. Maybe you give credit to Postal for negating Adine's output, but I feel like Lucas is so much more talented than Adine.
Adine always gasses too, and Lucas is at least fluid with his punches.
And Adine loads up. I don't think you can even compare the two, offensively speaking.
They're
levels
levels apart.
This is such a huge step up for Postal, right? I mean, think about it. He's never faced a guy like Matisse. And Matisse has fought in guys like Postal in the past, so I got Matisse easy money.
Yeah, I mean, he could win.
Yeah, he could, like everyone else. That's a very insightful comment.
It's certainly a chance.
It's
33%, 33 and a third % chance he wins.
And it is certain that two people are going to box.
There could always be a draw.
Yep.
I mean, what do you want me to say? Do you want me to completely backtrack? Of course, Lucas has got a fucking great chance of winning, but at the end of the day, styles make fights. Postal's going to school him, I think.
Jesus Christ, school him.
Chew, that's it. You convinced me. I'm going Postal.
I'm fucking doubling down.
Chew, school him. School him.
I'm picking Postal, but I'm not going that far.
You what?
Leon stepping away from Chew as we speak.
Staying away from the madman.
Have you guys not realised every time Chew does this, they never win?
Of course.
When? What? Deontay Wilder, Stavern.
Eubank.
You were right. You're right.
Premier League boy.
Let me think of more. Eubank. Let me think of more.
Alright, who won that?
Right.
That's the last one I really fucking doubled down on.
Which one?
Wilder, Stavern. Oh, and obviously Floyd Manny, but whatever.
You didn't double down on the decision.
Yeah, that's
this guy Postal, who's never fought anyone. He fought Ideen. Who the hell's Ideen?
Who the fuck
Ideen's lost the bloody Jojo Dan, mate.
Oh my God! Game over.
That's Wilder decision.
Rest in peace.
Check the archives.
Look,
You lost to Jojo Dan. How bad must he be?
I know triangle theories. I'm the biggest advocate against them, but whenever Jojo Dan is involved in the picture, I agree with triangle theories all the way.
Who the hell's Postal ever beat to say he's going to school Matisse? Matisse has given everyone hard work. He might have a couple losses, but they worked hard for it.
See, fighters after they fight Provodnikov, they're never the same.
That's bullshit. You can't go off of that argument. Who are you basing that off of?
Yeah, because what's his name's actually been better. Your boy out the cage, that Amir Khan fight was probably his best performance ever. Avocado, man.
What was Postal with John David Jackson?
No, Postal's with Freddie. Wild card.
That doesn't relate then. I really don't understand. And Chew's lying. He ain't seen no 3 fights. He's seen 1 fight, just like me.
Admit it, Chew. Admit it, you fucking liar.
Yo, 3 is that number too. What do they say in American Pie? If a guy says he slept with 3 girls, it's either 1 or 0.
One, right?
I played the fact.
Hey, Chew, so who are the 2 fighters you've seen other than 18?
I'm going to just check what's on YouTube.
Please.
You seen
Please.
Hank Lundy?
Who else? Who's the third?
Nah, I'm
You're what?
pleading the fifth.
You're pleading the fifth.
Dan, let it go. Let it go.
I'm not letting it go until you give me an answer. Plead the fifth. You know the
Fine.
perception.
We're just gonna be dead air for the next half an hour. You just fucking spoiled the whole show. I'm not saying fuck all.
Did you guys talk about my boy AB yet versus Kabila Gabov?
We were waiting on you. No, we gave a couple of points.
Yeah, I don't know anything about his opponent.
Cam, get control. We're sinking over here.
Nah, I'm enjoying it. It's funny, man.
How's Kebab? Is he any good?
He's okay. His last fight was against Jesse Vargas. He lost it on, I think it was unanimous, or was it? Yeah, unanimous.
True.
It was a close fight.
Alright.
True.
Alright.
Why the fuck you lying?
Harry pulling his own sound bites out there.
Oh, I could hear it was a smoke alarm, Harry.
Oh, come on, True. Don't be disingenuous.
You picking AB, Lim?
I don't give a shit about that fight. I don't know anything about the other guy, so. So is he fighting for the regular belt or for the official, or for the super belt or whatever it's called?
As far as I know, it's a regular, but I can't remember who it was in the chat that said it was for the super, but I'm sure it's a regular because I think that Benavidez Jr. got made super. So I'm not, to be honest, it's hard to keep up with all this bullshit.
Jesus Christ. I know we've talked about how bullshit belts are nowadays, but fucking Benavidez Jr. is a super champion? Come on.
He might not be.
That's
I might be wrong,
absurd.
to be honest. Let me double check.
Nonetheless. What'd you guys think of Deontay overall? Do you feel like he has any chance against Povetkin?
Slim to none.
Slim to none.
And Slim just went walking out the door.
Let's see. Yeah.
I'm just looking up for Victor.
Did you see the fight, Lim?
Yeah, I saw the fight.
What do you think?
I thought Deontay's just too wild. I feel like he's forming bad habits because he's fighting these no-name guys, you know. The guy that he fought last, that fight was way below what he should have fought. You know, after fight against Stavern, I mean, you shouldn't fight Povetkin immediately, but you should fight guys who are within that skill set, right? Or else you're going to have a guy like Deontay just fucking jumping up in the air trying to throw punches and shit. Like, come on, man. I only saw the last 2 rounds of the fight anyway, so I didn't get to watch the entire thing.
You didn't miss much.
Yep. No.
Chew, I'm just checking for you. There's about 7 or 8 Victor Postal fights up on YouTube, so you could have easily watched 3 of them. The one against Hank Lundy looks like it's in a homeless shelter.
Oh yeah, that's the one I watched.
Oh yeah.
The memories are coming back.
Of course, it's the one you watch.
It's coming back. Yeah.
How many rounds did it last?
6.
Can you verify that, Leon?
Decision, mate. Come on.
Decision 12
Even
rounds.
I know that, and I ain't seen the fight.
Oh, Chew, I threw you a lifeline then.
No, you threw him under the bus.
Are you sure about that?
No. I feel better.
Have you watched the fight?
No, I've just found the fight. I ain't watching that.
Well, let me tell you what happens then.
Break it down for us.
Please do.
Sorry,
Chew,
guys.
Chew,
Just going to clear my throat for 2 seconds.
Hey, Chew, can you break down Manny Pacquiao versus Floyd Mayweather 2 while you're at it?
Alright, let's stop bullying Chew and let's move on. I think we've kind of wrapped up next week's fights. Most of us agree that the Broner fight we're not really too bothered about. It's a shame that it's at the same time as the Matisse fight because that's the one I'll be watching and I'll stay up for that because I'm a fan of Matisse and I'm not going to go to sleep and watch that the next day. I want to watch that shit live.
Dan, are you going to call in next week when Matisse gets his ass beat?
Yeah, I'm gonna call in next week when Matisse ass rapes Postal. I certainly will do that.
Because you've got a bad habit of making picks and then not phoning in the next week.
Or is that right? Yeah, but actually, I was gonna say that at least I don't bullshit and lie about the fights that I have seen, but I can't say that because I do that as well. So
Box rec style.
Exactly. Yeah, but I like the Buglioni fight a lot, though. That was really good. So
Buglioni.
I thought Buglioni was gonna win that title, man, but fucking hell, that shit got me really fucked up.
All right, let's get some final thoughts. Dan, do you have any final thoughts?
Buglioni's a fan favorite over there, huh?
He has his the whole of his town basically get behind him.
Okay, you got the white boy type of following.
Yeah, kind of
like an Algerian type of following,
like a Shawnee.
Yeah.
Okay. Nope, no final thoughts. Just on to the next one.
Thank you.
That's how we like our guys. Very limited talent wise, Kev.
Kev, any final thoughts?
Nah.
All right, thank you.
That's it.
Leon, any final thoughts?
Nah, you're good.
Ari, final thoughts?
Nope.
MV2, any final thoughts?
He's gone into hiding.
He's watching a Victor Postal fight.
He's probably watching the wrong ones too.
Chew, any final thoughts?
That was it. Henry Lundy, 12. Club Sport Life in Kiev. It's coming back now, guys.
It's too late to save it now, Chew.
I was getting confused with another Victor Postal fight. I'm such a big fan of fucking Victor Postal. Such a big fan that I think he's going to school Matisse. 12-round decision. He's not going to knock him down. He's not going to knock him out. He's going to give him a schooling. It'll be something like Calzaghe Lacey.
Oh.
Chew's digging his hole deeper and deeper.
Chew was just off sniffing glue. That's where he disappeared to.
Chew's a fucking troll today, man.
I'll
so
give
if he win all 12 rounds.
Chance.
So he's going to win all 12 rounds, is he?
Chew's just covering all of his bases right now. If he loses next week, he's just going to say, I was trolling. And if he wins, he's going to say, I told you so.
Yeah.
Yep.
And you better not duck me, son.
Hey, Chew.
What's up?
You want to get the revenge?
For what?
How's your bank balance looking?
Pretty good.
Who's writing their essay? Their thesis paper right now?
You, Lim.
That's me. That's my bad.
It's all right. I
No,
can't be the one to
Sounds like we're on the Daily Bugle.
I can't be the one to judge.
I'm still on the clock.
It's like the Washington Post in the 80s.
You were
Beast Mode in the chat is saying, Chew, you should never jumped off the Matisse bandwagon. Matisse should have never got fucking schooled by Danny Garcia. Things happen.
Didn't you say in the past though? Didn't you say that was a very, very even fight? I thought that was what you took away from that fight.
I had it the first time I watched it, a draw. I watched it again. I had Danny Garcia by 3 rounds, and I'm pretty sure you had that as well. Did I not watch that live with you?
No, I had it Danny. I had it Danny 7-5, but I feel like that was as convincing of a 7-5 win as they get. So,
considering most of us was predicting that Danny Garcia was going to get knocked out in about 2 rounds,
yeah.
I was just surprised they got to the 6.
Yep. Yep, it was a great fight. That's why I still have a lot of stock in Danny. But that also, because I have a lot of stock in Danny, because of that win, I also have to say that Lucas is a pretty damn good fighter, even though he's limited in a lot of ways.
I mean, we'll see. I just, if you were to put triangle fairies, I know Dan. If you were to put Victor Postal against Danny Garcia, That's a tough fight for Danny. Victor Postol is a tough fight for anybody.
But the thing with me is he hasn't fought anybody. His level of opposition is so shit.
Eye test.
And I have no idea what his chin is like. None. I know Lucas doesn't have the best chin, but at least it holds up to some degree.
So I'm gambling that, okay, he's never fought anybody like Lucas, but you're gambling that he's got a bad chin.
No, not even. That's not what I'm limited to, because I feel like there's more ways that Lucas can beat him.
Is he going to out-jab
volume? Him? But no, not necessarily out-jab him, but Posto doesn't have a high output. He's basic. I think Lucas would throw a lot more punches than Posto would. I could see Lucas throwing 800 to 900 punches in this fight, and a lot of them landing, you know? The thing about Posto is the guy stands straight up. His chin is in the air, you know? It's easy to predict what he's going to throw, and it's you can tell when he's going to throw and when he's not going to throw.
So
that to me is not a
sign.
Yeah, I've sparred him a couple times. You can tell when he's...
I can tell you sparred him. I think you gave him work.
I thought this is why you're salty. It's coming out now.
Nah, Lim gave him work, man.
No. The thing about Postol is, obviously, if I spar any pro, I'm gonna get my ass beat. But the thing about he just likes to control you at a distance, you know, which is fair play. That's what he should do, right? But what I'm banking on is that Lucas is more skilled, and he actually has the ability to get past his jab. You know, because if Adin was able to get past his jab to some degree by throwing one punch at a time, why wouldn't Matisse be able to do that? It's absurd for me to think otherwise.
You've just summed up why he's going to lose. He likes to control you from distance. That came from your own words. I'm definitely picking Postol to win there.
Yeah, but I just mentioned
guys
like Adin was able to overcome that jab when he was aggressive in that fight. So what I'm banking on is that I don't think Postol can maintain that distance for more than 3 to 4 rounds max.
All right. Your opinion is yours.
It is. Thank you for letting me know.
Chew, any final thoughts?
My final thoughts. If I gave them already, I'll give them again. Postol is going to control Matisse from distance.
Okay. Thank you, Chew. I want to thank everyone on the show today. I want to thank all the people in the chat. I want to thank all the people that download the show week in, week out. We'll be back next week. Peace.
You just listened to the Boxing Coalition.
I did. Man, I love boxing. I fucking love boxing.
A big shout out to the Boxing Coalition.
You're a newbie.
No, I ain't new, man.
If my fucking next door neighbour became the number 1 flymate in the world, you know what I'd do? I'd fucking walk past the cunt.
Derek, how you doing, bro?
I was physically burn you, blood.
I disagree.
First time I hear the song, man, it was fucking badass.
Vamos a Argentina, la concha de su madre.
I see the bomb in them.
I get home and she's like, what the fuck? Me and the kid are here. Why don't you get home and talk to us? I'm like, man, you guys don't know shit about boxing.
Kel, how does it feel to be the new IBF champion?
Feels great. Great.
Did we really dive into the black hole right off the jump?
I think he's hiding glass.
Just to play devil's advocate.
You want 1 portion of crow or 2 portions of crow?
Give me 2 portions with a supersized fries and a large drink, please.
I can't stand him, what? I'm Scottish.
Cringe side.
But you won't rush Anthony fucking fat ass Joshua, would you?
He's not fat.
How about you tell us what you ate for your final thoughts?
My weight?
Thank you for listening to the Boxing Coalition. We are live every Monday, 10 p.m. to 1 a.m. UK time, 5 p.m. to 8 p.m. Eastern.